back to the Everwind Chronicles. I am Doug, your Dungeon Master, and we are a group of friends and storytellers telling you a story through Dungeons & Dragons. Where we last left off, the group, of course, again had joined a rebellion in Lyrandil and been sent on a mission to the distant desert country of Alraka to try to find what happened to Hethra, the weapons dealer for the rebellion, who had just cut off communication and disappeared. After a long series of events, they were able to learn about her operations and concoct a plan to strike at the core in order to get her attention, show that they're not somebody to be taken lightly or messed with, to give her proper incentive to reestablish the deal. Unfortunately, losing Easy and Bear in the process. They successfully made it into Hethra's main warehouse, where they discovered and fought a beholder in disguise, narrowly escaping from that encounter, only to be captured by Hethra's men on their way out, and were taken, stripped of their belongings, taken in to meet with Hethra, where they had a negotiation of sorts that apparently seemed to have worked, and Hethra has agreed, very angry, but has agreed to reestablish relations under, some conditions that Asura negotiated in addition, which also involved an additional percentage of arms to be supplied without, a specific destination that Asura intends to supply to the Circle Breakers, a group within the city of Tirotha that are working to, under the Fae Sithris, to free slaves and just generally disrupt things in the city. As part of that, she also agreed that this most wanted group in Alraka as a whole would be the security for this woman who demonstrated herself to be pretty evil during the negotiations. And so now this most wanted group works for her as security for these supplies, or at least that's the deal. Again, depending on some conditions set by them as part of the negotiation. And so they went and explained the situation to Sithris, the Fae, who had been the kind of secret leader of this organization, who was very, very unhappy about that negotiation and being tied down and being, pretty much every aspect of it. But, they parted company, leaving him in apparent misery. As they made their way back to a long, deserved rest, after which they received word that Salvanos, the sort of contact that they had made when they initially reached the city, needed to see them urgently. And so they traveled and made their way to his place of business and were asked to wait outside as he wanted to speak with them individually. And so, one thing I wanted to say, one quick note as we pick things up here. On your way down from, after waking up and making your way down to, on your way to Salvanos' place, Stoic, you start to feel some discomfort in your feet. It's like your shoes are just a little bit too small.
Okay, this is as we're descending down to sea.
Yeah. You continue walking and, you realize something kind of felt off last night, but you didn't really think about it too much because you were so tired. And then when you, as you've woken up and gotten ready and everything like that, it just seems to be getting a little bit worse. And so it definitely feels like your shoes are very tight, like too small. Like you'd have just a little bit of trouble running, so your speed is reduced by 10 feet right now.
I'm slow as the rest of you. You lost your mobile speed.
Make an intelligence check for me.
That's not really good.
You're very smart.
Oh, that's not bad. Just straight intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 15.
Okay. As you reach, and we're just gonna say over the course of you sitting there and thinking about this and like now just kind of sitting there waiting as you're waiting to speak to Salvanos and everything at his bar. As you're like, what is going on? You're checking over your boots and like doesn't seem like anything's changed with them. They're the same boots, like nothing's different. In the back of your mind, you think. You just hear Cithrus's words saying that he wanted you to slow down and think about who you offend.
Okay.
So, as you guys have arrived, it is announced that that he wants to see Zenoa first. So I need everybody to leave their phones and go upstairs.
Because you know that I'm trying to eavesdrop. Listen.
I will.
Listen. I know that you know me. And I'm a dirty, dirty cheater. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck, Zenoa.
Hey, Larry, is there anything? Will I be able to show illustrations?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it should work.
Yeah, she'll work. If you have any problems,
Good luck.
because I'm not going to be able to do anything.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Calling us down next.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. So. All right. So, as you're called back individually to make your way back through the place you've been before, you start making your way back towards right outside the room where you've been to, where you met with him before. You actually see a kind of dark cloaked figure just kind of leaning back against the wall besides the door, with like one foot kind of propped up on the wall, and you actually see him twirling a dagger with incredible skill, like just amazing grace, and just doing things you didn't even know could be done with one hand at a dagger. And you just kind of look at him for a second before you unless you want to talk to him, go to the door.
What space is he in right now? What does it look like?
Just like a hallway.
Okay.
It's like kind of a
So
relatively...
I'm passing him to your work, to my
No, it's like,
destination.
so if you imagine the hallway and the door, he's like just past the door, like a couple of feet. Like you're going into the door right beside him.
So he's in my destination.
Yeah, more or less.
Excuse me. I got called back here. Who are you?
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter, does it, love? But
Well,
you can go in.
You're not Sylvanos. I think that's who I was supposed to be talking to.
Well, sort of. He called you, but yes, you're right. You're not going to be talking to her, to him. Word of advice, love. Don't try to lie. You're just going to look stupid, and you don't want this enemy.
Who are you? What are you doing here? What do you got to do with any of this?
To you right now, I'm nobody.
Right. Okay.
Good luck.
She'll kind of eye him up and down and keep going.
Okay. It's interesting because he never really even turns to see you. So like to look at you, he doesn't. He looks completely relaxed, like completely confident. Like he's not concerned about you or guarded at all. He doesn't seem... He just seems at ease. Like nothing in the world is wrong.
I'd like to think Sanoa's giving off relatively similar energy, but as she like looks at him, she's gonna take a few seconds to just look him up and down. What is he? Is he a human? What kind of weapons
He seems
are
to
on
be
him?
human, as far as you
Okay.
can tell. I mean, his hood is pulled up, so it's kind of shadowing his face. You can't get a great look at it. But he seems to be human, or humanish. Everything else is just black. He's just from head to toe in black. Black boots, black clothing, gloves, black cloak.
Is the dagger the only weapon I can see?
That you can see immediately, yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so he doesn't move as you go to open the door and enter in. As you do, you see again the room with the kind of large desk in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But the room itself is a bit different than last time you were in. Last time you were in, there were torches and things of that nature around the room. And this time there is one singular light that you can't even tell what it is exactly, just kind of shining down. And the rest of the room is pitch black. Like the whole room has been just permeated with darkness, revealing only the desk and a single figure sitting behind it, who is not Salvanos. What you see is a woman, probably middle-aged, but still very beautiful for her age. Slightly dark olive skin, with this kind of black, slightly curled hair underneath a sort of wide-brimmed hat, with this dark clothing, with a dark jacket, like a charcoal dark jacket, dark fitted pants and black boots, knee-high black boots. And actually I can show you, hopefully. Nope. That. Let me see if this is going to work. Because that is not her. Nope. I'll have to show you later.
Have I seen this person before?
No.
Okay. Is it human?
It appears to be. The thing that strikes you the most is not her physical appearance, but there is something about her that is piercing. Like she looks at you with these gray, kind of steel gray eyes, and you feel like you're being looked through. Like you feel like she's dangerous. You feel like she is serious and weighty. And there's just something about her demeanor that is probably easily the most intimidating person you've ever met. Just her overall presence is very... Before she even speaks, there's just something about it.
I think Zeno's paranoia is kicking in a little bit. She feels caught, maybe. I don't know.
She sits there for a moment as you enter and just kind of clearly takes you in for a moment without a word.
So she's behind a table, and there's one seat.
There is a chair opposite her.
Is that a seat for me?
She again stays silent for a second as she continues to look at you. This very uncomfortable silence until she finally says, "Yes,
to, when I get close to the table, I'll just try to survey my surroundings. I
Okay,
can
make a
see
perception check.
Okay. 26.
26. Okay.
Mostly just looking for other bodies.
Yeah. Outside of this immediate line of light is pitch black. You can't see a thing. You just see basically her and everything I've described. As you get closer, you do see on her gloved hands, outside of the gloves, you actually see a variety of kind of thinner rings of different colors and like totally different designs and makes. But she also, you don't see a weapon of any kind. You don't see anything but the desk, the 2 chairs, and a bottle like of what looks like whiskey and 2 glasses. And she says, "Oh, so."
No, I'm making my way. I don't really see anything. I'll get to the table. What's with the lighting? Is Sylvanas here, or are you friends with Sylvanas?
She regards you again with another uncomfortable silence till she says, "I am known as Hadressa."
I've heard that name, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh shoot, Jenner. Okay.
Stoic and Asura work for me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And I'll sit down.
You know of me?
A little bit. I mean, they've said your name once or twice. But am I in some sort of trouble?
We shall see. For now, we shall have a drink of parley. And she goes and pours the cup. Her eye's still on you. And it's she doesn't look away. It's just dead eye contact the whole time. Very discomforting. As she pours the bottle into 2 glasses and, sets one in front of you and takes the other and drinks it.
Thank you.
Now we will discuss whether or not I should kill you.
Are Stoic and Asura in trouble as well?
Do not worry about them. Worry about yourself.
Okay.
Time is a thing I must spend carefully. For each minute I spend on something, it might mean death and destruction somewhere else. So you must understand how important this conversation is.
Let's make it quick.
Certain information is harder to come by from Mandor. There must be great caution under the merciless regime of the Church of Our Lady and its High Priest. But I have a suspicion that you need no explanation for his ruthlessness.
I'm sorry, what do you know about Mandor?
Much.
Do tell.
As I have said, my time is precious, and there is not enough time to explain what I know.
So what do you want from me?
The Church of Our Lady is large and of considerable influence. is the organization that secretly runs the entire country. There is much for it to be concerned with. And yet, one thing echoes throughout its ranks like the aftershocks of an earthquake. The disappearance of the High Priest's daughter. It seems to be a top priority for him. I need to know why your disappearance, the one who seems to match the name and description and timing of this daughter's disappearance, why your disappearance warrants such focus and attention.
I was reputable there. That was a while ago, so you coming here telling me you know where I'm from, you know who I am. I couldn't even say that about myself a few months ago, so I don't know why that's even a conversation, really.
Do you know what we do?
Do you have people inside Mandor?
I have eyes and ears everywhere. Have you been told what we are?
I want to hear from you.
Have you been told?
Was her name associated with the group name?
The Eldrin? Yes.
Somewhat. I know somewhat what you do. I don't know your relationship to my home country, but believe me when I say I don't want anything to do with it. With Mandor, I'm just. I ran into a certain stoic. I wasn't out looking for anyone or anything. It just happened. I'm not looking for trouble. I don't want to screw up whatever you guys already had going by the time I met them. But I care about them. So I guess that means I care about whatever you guys are doing.
Your father has been like a man obsessed. So much so that were it another man, he would certainly lose his position to other schemers within the church, if everyone were not so afraid of him. He risks his own position. I wonder what would drive such desperation to find you. But whatever this desperation is, which you still have not answered me, you present a danger to the group. And perhaps much more.
What kind of danger do you think I pose to them?
If this powerful organization is looking for you, that could be dangerous to us. And they are.
I know they are. But I can take care of it. I know who's coming. Very familiar with him, so I know what to do.
I do not think that you are. I have been told that after your disappearance, your father's attentions turned to his son. His son who went through a strangely quick but intense period of training and has come out different.
Different. What does that mean?
Different and powerful. I do not think you know him as the one that you left behind. But he is searching for you.
Do you know where he is?
He has been seen in various places bordering the Helderlands.
Where is he now?
At this very moment, I would have to... It would take more effort to find out.
When did you receive the information he was in the Helderlands?
2 days ago. He has been looking for anyone who has seen one of your description to see where you might have gone from there.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I gotta touch up my roots with my hair. I'm far away, and I have my own ways of keeping up with him. And if things get a little hairy, she kind of stops herself for a second before she says this. She says, I'll leave. I won't cause any trouble for them, for you.
You misunderstand. For what we are doing, that is not... It is not so simple. You possess, now, secrets crucial to the survival of our entire universe. And you would expect us to simply let you walk away.
Listen, I don't think I have maybe as many secrets as you think I do, okay? I know...
You know my name.
Yeah?
That has been enough for many people to die. I will do whatever is necessary to protect what we are to protect. One person, even myself, does not matter in that grand scheme. Why did you leave?
If you know so much about Mandor, look, the High Priest has always been a man of obsessed. He's my father, but he's not. He's not what I think a father was supposed to be. He hurt us, our entire family. And there's no allowance for questioning anything. And when I did, I got scared. And I made a choice. I left. I don't think I want what he wants for me. So, yeah. He always said that I had more potential than my brother. So now that I'm gone, my brother gets what I guess he always wanted, and when he turned to him, I know my brother was ready, so it makes sense that whatever training they put him under didn't take long at all, so.
She regards you again in silence for another long, drawn out. She seems to have no problem with uncomfortable silences and just staring you down, basically. She finally says, I am very well acquainted with the darkness that can be found in man. This is why I have made it my own. Now the darkness is my domain. I am no longer a victim to it. Do not flee from the darkness. Embrace it. Learn how to use it as a weapon. For the right thing. Hmm?
I'll very quickly, like to consider it as quick because it's a bonus action,
Mm-hmm.
cast spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Like, I'll just kind of like hold it up and hold it, like show like my spectral ritual dagger. Not to attack, just to show her.
As you do,
Uh-huh.
nothing happens.
Okay.
And she sees,
It's vocal, so I say something.
yeah. And she says, in some ways you are still but a child running away from home.
Don't disagree.
And you must also learn that it is a mistake to think that magic, gods, and swords are the only forms of power. There are much more powerful things in this world. And so a lesson for the child. There is no such thing as a drink of parley. as she says that, like you kind of like connect the dots that your inability to cast magic had something to do with that drink.
I don't know if it was anything else. Then instead,
But it is interesting though. You have this moment of thought of it's probably the first time you haven't had access to magic since you were a kid.
mm-hmm.
It is a very helpless feeling. Surrounded by pitch black with the most intimidating person you've ever seen sitting in front of you.
I'll take that in for a second. I'll take out my real ritual dagger and set it on the table in front of us. I know what I'm capable of. But I know that I have a lot to learn, so. She's not making eye contact anymore.
And she again just kind of lets you squirm in this space. And what say you of us? Of their purpose?
I've said that I'm in. And if I, for whatever reason, don't want it anymore, them anymore, I can disappear again.
And you do not know what prompts such desperation to find you. Did you steal something from them? Did you play a prominent role in the church? Did you know something that he does not wish to be known?
I've never known anyone to leave. My family, my friends, no one, I'm coming to learn, no one outside of Mandor talks about Mandor. Nobody even knows, nobody speaks the name of Our Lady around here. So as far as information goes, maybe just the fact that I was born there is too much information getting out. I don't know. I mean, I obviously know why they wouldn't want everything that I've been through in my life. I know why they wouldn't want that out. So yeah, maybe. Like I said, my father saw a lot of potential in me. I was very good and I was trained and learned, but it also came fairly naturally. Extracting information from people, digging inside the minds of others, and doing what was necessary to make a person follow worship Our Lady, whatever they wanted to call it. That what it is, a church, but I was just good playing that role for my father. Okay, and that's all. I wasn't the brute force of the family. That was my brother, and so if it comes to it and they find me, then I guess they'll take me with brute force and you won't have anything to worry about. So.
It will be worrisome if they break your mind and access things they should not have, knowledge they should not possess. Why, Ildris?
You should probably ask Ildris why. Why is it no? I don't think she hates me for me. The way I grew up and the things I've seen, the things I've done. She hasn't seemed to hold it against me. I'm coming to learn I think other gods maybe would. Taken what I'm prone towards and turned it in a much better direction. So it works for me. Does she know you?
She just regards you silently, again, not answering your question.
Do any of her rings have any, like, iconography on?
Make a perception check.
Here. 12.
It's hard to tell. You can definitely tell there are some sort of symbols and things of that nature. They definitely seem magical. And like oddly eclectic, which you might expect for a collection of magic rings, as they're not really designed for matching each other in fashion, But nothing, at least, nothing with that roll that you would recognize or be able to determine what they do or anything of that nature. But she just, as you say that, she doesn't answer and just continues to regard you in silence for a moment, and then says, she reaches up and actually she takes the cork and puts it back in the bottle, and says, "Trust is vulnerability. You may go."
Reach for my dagger slowly.
She waits for another second and then pulls up a vial and sets it on
What's this?
the reverse.
What does that mean?
You may go.
Does it look familiar?
No.
Wanting-
just a clear liquid. You'd guess it has something to do with the bottle. But there's very little about this woman that you get is forthcoming. Like she just seems to be someone who is not interested in your questions or agenda, but basically just she has a purpose, and when she's done, she's done.
Okay. If that's what I'm picking up, then I won't say anything. I'll just walk out and leave.
Okay. So, you go back out. The figure outside is gone. If you would get Stoic and Asura next.
Okay. Together?
Yeah, and don't talk about anything with anyone.
Okay.
So, I will sit here awkwardly with you guys. And, yeah. I probably should have planned for something to say during this awkward, transition time here, but I didn't. I will, I'm going to start posting some of the illustrations on Discord. Again, I used to do it, but I'm going to start doing it again for some of these, especially since we're having some trouble with, showing the illustration at the moment. So we'll do that later on Discord. I was just telling them I'm not able to pull up any illustrations at the moment. It's not working correctly, so I'll have to post on Discord later.
Okay. Do you want me to ask Larry?
No, not right now.
Okay.
So, you see, as you're waiting, you see Zenoa exit back out, looking very troubled.
Oh no.
But she, before you can even ask, they motion for the two of you to enter. And so you just kind of see her just walk over to the bar.
Okay.
As you guys go back, they kind of lead you through the door and then stop following you as you make your way down an empty hallway that you've been down before, to the door, and, open the door and enter, but the room is different than what you saw before. What you saw before, there were torches and things of that nature around, kind of lighting up the place, but now there's only a single light in the middle. And, seated behind the desk of Sylvanos, where Sylvanos sat before, is Hadressa.
Of course it is. The minute you said
I'm
a
about
dark
to
room
say,
and a single light
I was about
source.
to ask if I smell lavender
No, it's cinnamon.
or cinnamon.
Looking much the same as you saw before, with her same, or at least very similar garb as you've seen her dressed before.
Mm-hmm.
That same, and it's been a while, and so you almost forgot what it's like to be in her presence and how discomforting it can be, and how those piercing eyes just make you start reevaluating all of your life since last time you saw her and everything that you're supposed to be doing, and
I love her so much.
and everything as she just puts that piercing gaze on either of you in silence for a few moments. Report.
On which country? There's been a lot going on.
Whatever is important.
All of it?
Well, what's important is we think the entire rebellion against the people is being orchestrated by whoever's pulling the strings of the Black Flame.
You think the rebellion itself is being led?
Not the rebellion, but the people.
Lyrendel.
Yes. We've ran into more than one of their higher-ups that have had power over the Black Flame, or at least it being part of them.
Why do you say this?
I'm just reporting, so don't be too upset with us. On our trip here, we were attacked by one of their, I don't know how high up, but it was one of their high-ranking captains. And they actually had the Black Flame contained within their eyes. We removed it. Unfortunately, it was stolen from us, and I'm not sure how. But we are working to find out who and to get it returned. But it's a little hard being in the country that we're in and to take care of that.
We did tell what's his name.
Yes. It has been reported.
Reported.
Yes.
To our wizarding friend.
I know.
I know. He said that he would tell you. Are we in real trouble for that one? I feel like we're in big trouble for that one. I feel like you buried the lead on something very important, even more important than that.
What's more important than the Black Flame right now?
We lost 2 of ours.
I know. 3.
3 of ours. Who did with Zeus? Is Valen gone?
He is not with you. You do not know where he is, do you?
Yeah, but I can still kill him if I find him.
Then he is lost.
Or hug him. I don't know if he is bad or good. I don't know why he ran away. And of all people, why with her?
Explain. If you want to explain what happened.
I will explain what Stoic
Okay,
told
fast
me.
forward.
Yeah. About.
You don't know.
Well,
Well, you two collectively.
Yeah, like I only know what you have said, and the fact that we have tried several times to contact him since then, but it is like it's like there is no contact point. But it's not like I don't know if he's gone or if he's just ignoring but I don't know why he would make such a sacrifice.
The key and answers to both of those issues are in Lyrendel, and we are going to quickly be on our way back there. Unfortunately, we had to take this sidetrack to concrete our means in Lyrendel.
We're here because of weapons, and of course we're back in my home country, and turns out there's a little bit more of a rebellion here as well. And I have maybe contracted them to facilitate in those wares moving forward for Lyrendel's rebellion, to also feed their own rebellion. And I just tell her the fact that I just created the most ridiculous contract.
In other words, we may have most likely caused us some future issues here and could use some backup.
No future issues. We have helped plant the seeds of the downfall of a toxic and violent situation.
I'm not rehashing this with you.
Also, we met the prince. So there's that.
I know.
How do you... Then why do you need me to report anything if you already know everything?
You have tried to build a fortress on sand. A
Did I?
mistake a desert dweller should know. The circle breakers, they are not guards. And you have put them in the hands of an evil woman who would very much like herself and profit from making deals with anyone else who desperately wants to find them. And you have placed your hopes in a fae. But I admit, the fae can be useful. That's why I indirectly guided him here in the first place.
You sent him here?
I indirectly conveyed the idea that it would be fun. I decided to keep a close eye on him. Not a small task. After discovering that he had shared some of your dreams.
He has seen what we have seen.
You told us that he shared one of your dreams.
Sure, but...
And I have long suspected that something is strange about the two of them. As I told you before, it is not normal for the pixie to be able to draw other fae to her cause and get them to stay. And he himself seems to act less fae-like around you. A very curious set of circumstances. Did you make peace?
We made progress.
Did you fulfill your obligation to him? Your debt?
He seems to think so, but I don't know if we'll ever be on the best of terms. But the relationship is manageable.
If the debt has been fulfilled, that is the majority of it.
I think we can move past our general dislike of each other and work with each other. And I think that's what really matters.
Good. I should not be concerned about any more fae that you pick fights with. Both of you.
I mean,
You still don't have a shadow.
yeah, there's more fae that dislike me than just him. But I'm sure you know that.
A stolen shadow is not a small thing.
Do you know what it means?
Technically, it walked. Sorry, it was a very funny story that his shadow just walked away from him.
That is because you do not know what powerful fae can do with one's shadow.
That is very fair. I'm sure it's terrifying.
Unfortunately, there is no sure way to predict what is being done with it. Only that it will be not good.
How bad is it? Because I would rather place my focus elsewhere, like on the rebellion. Are you saying
That is where your focus should be. That is your mission. like any good soldier in the midst of a battle, your eyes should also be everywhere.
Are there any signs I should be looking for?
Or signs that I should be looking for?
Powerful Fae are vain creatures on the whole. My guess is that when the consequences of your actions come to light, it will be in a way that you will know. He will make it known. You have lost 3 companions. How are you?
Devastated.
Angry.
Do you still have the strength to continue?
I don't think we have the option not to.
Yes. But I won't pretend that I am not in pain.
You have served adequately. You have earned the right to quit, if you desire. There are others I can send to Lyrindil.
I don't see how that's an option. We didn't lose our friends so we could quit. If we quit now, their sacrifice means nothing.
I have left 2 of my brothers in the sand, and 1 brother I know not where he is. And I will either kiss him or stab him, depending on his choice. But there is something so big looming in the distance. I would never be able to sit knowing that it is coming, and I chose to eat and sleep instead.
Good.
Speaking of unknown things ahead of us, and well, unknown things in general, the spider creature that the plucking of this, the spider one who handles all the realms. The spider one.
Yes.
The realm spider person. You know who I'm talking about.
The world spider.
Yes, the world spider. The spider realm one, yes. Well, not to throw a new friend under the bus, but we do have a new friend that does seem tangentially related to the concept that there are other realms around here. But I don't think he knows what's going on.
Explain.
Our new friend, he just mentioned about the world spider that one time. When we saw that creature in the desert, the one that we killed and then resuscitated.
Yes.
Be very clear and explain.
Well, this is where we have heard the name and know that she is missing and not doing her part in the grand scheme of the world.
You're talking about the snake, the serpent.
Yes, the one that we killed in the... he was not dead. The one that was being fucked with, and then he was unfucked with.
God, what is his name?
I don't know, but he's going back to the mountains to protect the cave. We sent all of that to
We did. We reported on all this. We did report on all this. We met a creature that has at least knowledge of the world spider. I wouldn't say connection, but he is guarding the entrance from the flame realm, or the fire realm. I can't remember. Right?
And then
It was the Nine Hells.
it was the Nine
Was
Hells.
it the Nine Hells? I
Yeah,
thought
it was the
Flame Realm.
Hells.
I was-
The entrance that is near
Yes.
the Dragon Scale Mountain area range, right? Further that way.
You were in the Scaled Mountains.
We weren't. We were in the middle of Halraka,
He was in the Scaled Mountains, and he was a protector of the gate to the Nine Hells.
and then found himself in the middle of Halraka.
But he was taken control of, and we killed the one that was controlling him. He owes us a debt, but he could not leave his station, and so he returned to the Scale Mountains. But he has noticed the weakening in the veil between the realms.
If the portal has been left unguarded, this will have to be investigated.
As it should.
It was unknown how long he had been away. He couldn't remember all of the details of what happened to him while he was being manipulated.
This is the friend related to the world spider.
Well, it's not a friend, nor is it a relation. It is more of like, we killed him and then he was not dead anymore. So we were like, hey, we're all good if you're not going to kill us anymore. Also, world spider is a thing that he knows about and we know about it. And he said, well,
Yes.
if you know where she is, let me know.
As a protector of the gate, he is aware of the world spider and its importance.
But
don't
he
think
didn't
he's-
really know where she was, and we didn't know where she is, so.
But if you do investigate and you bring up our names, he will be more than willing to convey with you.
I feel like you think we are closer to that man than we really are. We are not his enemy.
You didn't have the same connection to him that I did.
That is very fair. There was also a period of time where he was his protector.
He trusts us.
He used magic on him.
The world spider is indeed missing. If you should find any information about them, that must be conveyed to us immediately.
We've been,
Finding her is one of the more important things in the world right now.
we've been sharing everything we know,
Immediately.
but we doing our best to be as immediate as possible. But the problem is, it's like we have a lot of half stories, and stories out of context, and stories out of time. I don't even know what it is I should be looking for. I just know anything I hear, I just go, oh, that might be important.
I do not anticipate that you will. The existence of the Weavers is a closely guarded secret. But if you do,
We will let you know.
Andrew.
I.
and she is
Imperial.
not the only Weaver missing.
Oh fuck, there's other weavers missing. Jesus fucking Christ. I just, this is getting out of hand sometimes.
So, now that we've reported, what do you have to report to us?
The world continues on its same trajectory. It is getting worse. Dark fire continues to appear, and it is drawing more attention. More creatures, people, organizations are becoming interested in it and are actively seeking out how to acquire and use it. Areas affected by it are beginning to become affected by panic and fear. We are only in the beginning stages, and it will become worse over time. As that panic and fear spreads, chaos will grow, and the world will eventually fall into disarray and violence as the flames continue to spread. All the while, more and more creatures from other realms appear and creep into ours and each other's. Our work only gets more important as the veil continues to weaken.
And we will continue to work on that. But, like we said, we are contacting Duriel with any information that we receive. But this is the first contact that you guys have made to us. And I understand the seriousness of the plight, but kind of figured it was going to get worse the longer it was out there. So I just would really like any information you can give us that is helpful. As in, do you have any other agents in Lyrandel besides us?
How would that help you?
Because you may have missing pieces to the puzzle that we don't have.
I would not withhold anything that would help you with your mission.
So you know nothing about Lyrandel other than what we've told you.
I know much, but I do not know what would help you. That is why you are there. You are my agents.
But that's why I asked, are we your only agents?
No.
Okay. Do any of your other agents have information on the whereabouts of the Ruby Judge? Because finding Valen would help us.
It has been a widespread topic of speculation, but nothing reliable.
She's quite
She has
literally.
disappeared.
How does someone of her renown and visibility just vanish?
I do not know. But it has made waves in the populace as more and more learn about it. And there is discontent about it amongst the crown, amongst the rulers.
Has it fortified the rebellion a bit more amongst the people? To hear that one of the greatest people of the crown just walked away.
It will, if she continues to stay gone for long enough, but Leader Tildwin is not. He is very gifted in controlling the thoughts of the masses, and it will take a long time for people to fully distrust any propaganda he puts out, such as news of the Ruby Judge's actions in different parts of the world.
Are any of your agents embedded with Lord Tildwin? Because the only information and contacts we have are on the rebellion side, and if you have access and information on the side of the crown, that could be very helpful.
As I told you before you left, Lyrandel is an extremely difficult place to work in and get information out of, even if you are there. Because even the slightest hint could lead to that agent's death. And so information only comes when it is most important.
I've been trying to build a network. don't know how fruitful it is. And obviously yours is much stronger than mine. But would you happen to know if it's working at all?
In what way?
Building connections and allies in different places. Are the whispers traveling?
I will say your man, Duskrose, seems to know his business. But that is not surprising of a man of the Thorn. He is doing well, maintaining your and growing your operations in Karandia.
That is good to hear.
But you will have to find better ways to communicate if you wish to go beyond a single nation. It is very difficult to communicate well and frequently enough to build a network across a continent.
So I am finding. Is there any way that I can make it better, easier, more efficient, more secure?
You stumbled on one. You were intricately involved in one in Lyrandale, I believe, or at least your rebellion was.
Huh?
I understand the crown's communication has been disrupted.
Oh yes, the thingamabobs, the blood thingies.
Not the falcons, but yes.
Should I have taken something from that? Didn't feel appropriate that I should take anything.
You need not take knowledge like money. You can use the knowledge as well.
Noted. Not entirely sure how to apply it yet, but noted.
Tell me of Zenoa.
She is the most open mystery I've ever come across. She is very blunt, speaks the truth, but reveals very little. Something devastating has happened to her, and she has done heinous things. And I know that feeling well. But it seems that she's trying to do something about that. I think she's still running. But she has helped me through some very terrible things. And maybe that is my naivety talking, but I trust her. I just don't know what is out there against her and how dangerous it could be. For that I fear that I might get caught in something bad, that we all will, should it come for her.
You seem to already know everything, so all I can say is she's one of us, and that's all that matters.
And if it came down to it, and the fate of the entire universe rested on her shoulders, would you want it there?
I don't want any one person to hold all of that.
Do I believe she'd make the right decision?
Would you want it there?
Not yet. She's a valuable member of this team, and I think that put in that position, she would make the right choice. I just don't think she has the strength to do it yet. She's been opening up to all of us, and I think once she does, with us there to support her, I have no doubt that she could handle it. But I don't think she's ready yet.
I don't know. I don't want anyone to walk with that burden.
All of us in the Eldrin walk with that burden.
But none of us walk alone.
But it may come to that.
I want whatever she wants. And if she wants to carry that, then I will trust her.
But if you do not believe she is ready,
Do you mean it's all going to come down to one of us, or it could come down to one of us at any point in time, or you know for a fact it's going to come down to her?
no. The universe is falling apart. We, the Eldrin, as you have been told, are a fraction of its former strength. Before things at the end, there may be only one of us left. And anyone who is a member of us must be able to make the right decisions when all else has failed. So anyone who is a member of the Eldrin must be able to stand in that decision, if it came to that.
I know that you may not think she's ready, but she is more than strong enough for it.
You know her better than I do. From
Not
what
as well as I would hope, but
From what I'm seeing, I have no doubt that she would make the right decision. I just don't know if she has the strength of character yet to push through it. She's still running from something, and until she faces it and is able to open up and depend on others, you can't have enough strength in yourself until you learn to depend on others. And that's a lesson that has been hard learned for me.
and that is a lesson for you. It is not for everyone. That was not my traveling. That was not my road. I was running. I gained strength to face it while I was still running. Because of you, not despite it. And I made the decision to join when I was still running. It's not if you're going to or from something. It is if you are met with an obstacle, can you face it? And she has probably faced things that I cannot imagine. And she might still be running, but she is not running alone, at least not for now.
That's what she's asking.
Correct? And that is my answer.
So,
She is strong enough.
on her own.
Yes. Do you know what kind of strength it is to run? Running is not a lack of strength. Running is knowing you need time. There is a ripping of the soul that happens in running. And every day you build yourself back up again and you do it again and again and again. Because every day it fortifies you just a little bit more. Gives you just a little bit more time and a little bit more resolve. And if you can survive running, standing and fighting becomes so much easier. You have the endurance for it. Running is not always bad.
So it looks like we have opposing positions, but that's where we stand.
We cannot afford doubt. So if there is not a unified position, she will not be one of us.
Please, Stoic. She has been trying to find a home.
We are not meant to be a home.
Home is
She
not-
can find home many places. We are meant to protect all homes. We are meant to sacrifice whatever is necessary and do what must be done.
She has the strength, but the decision is still hers. If she says she can do it, she can do it.
But do you?
If she says yes, then yes, I trust her. And I believe she can handle it. I may say she's not ready, but she knows herself well enough to know if she is. And so if she says she is, she is. That much I can trust.
She kind of stares you both down again in that uncomfortable silence that you know she does a lot. That she seems to have no problem with. And what of the rebel with you?
I would take him to battle in a heartbeat.
He's always seemed very passionate about his convictions. Unbothered by any obstacle in his path. A bit of an asshole and arrogant, but not in a bad way. Sometimes you need to be that brazen, confident.
He'll never run from a fight for the right reasons. If there's victims and there's justice, he'll run towards it head first.
And I think he's probably more connected to these the veils between these worlds more than he's letting on.
Explain.
I don't know, he's made comments and he's said things that just feel like he understands more of the world. I don't know I don't have specific instances. And perhaps maybe that is a conversation you'll be able to glean from him better. You know, I'm not always so good at reading people. I'm working on it. We had the same mentor when we were in Lyrandil, and just something about the way he sees the world makes me see that he sees more, or understands more. And perhaps he is closer to your goals and than maybe even we realize.
Then I will speak with him. But keep your eyes open. Ader's Tavalon is not as trusting as he might appear.
What?
What name?
Ader's Tavalon? You know, you've heard of him.
Yadris. Yeah, he's the leader.
I just didn't know he had a last name.
I know. I didn't. I have it.
I didn't know he had a last name.
didn't
I was like, who?
Yeah, you learned it when he signed the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I have his last name. I have it written down.
I forgot he had a last name. I was like, what?
The White Ghost, or whatever.
Well, if he trusted him, That speaks volumes about him as a person, yes.
It depends on what he's trusting him for.
Well, he's certainly trusting him to keep an eye on us. A bunch of bumblefucks, so...
That is what I'm afraid of.
He might be spying on us. That is true. But he has never stepped back from a fight. He's literally been turned to stone and trusted us to unstone him. So there's either an absolute insanity sitting in there somewhere deep, or there is an inherent virtuousness in him, even if he's meant to keep eyes on us. You're meant to keep eyes on us. Well, you're meant to keep eyes on everything. There's a lot of people keeping eyes on us. So at this point, I don't necessarily consider it a bad thing if somebody isn't keeping eyes on us. Especially if there's an important goal, like the rebellion. They are putting a lot of faith in us. It would make sense that they would have somebody that they have faith in to make sure we don't fuck it up.
He is only with you for this mission?
I think he might be in it for longer than that, but
We haven't had that conversation yet.
well, it's kind of alluded to it, but he's also a man with his own mind. He can make his own decisions. It's
And
just
what does he know?
quite a bit.
He's looked and he's seen more of the black flame than any sane person should.
And he kind of knows about everything we're doing, so. It's hard to hide it. After too many things came up.
I don't know if we told him about Endurial and everybody else.
We've alluded to a lot of things
yeah, but
around
we
him.
haven't flat out told him any of that.
Pretty sure we
We
have.
talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, like we've
Okay.
without saying we've said everything. He's cocky, but he's not dumb. He's heard and seen a lot.
In the past, you have made comments, complaints about being kept in the dark about many things, about not being told as much as you wish. And now you come to me, saying that not one but two outsiders are fully aware of this knowledge that they should not have, and that you have lost one of the most dangerous things on this plane, or any plane. Trust is vulnerability. This is not news that encourages further trust.
Andressa, are you here to punish us or help us? Because I didn't come in here for an Inquisition.
I am merely stating a fact before you think again about whining like a child. About things you do not understand and are not responsible enough to hold.
For my part, I am sorry. I know there is a lot of trust that you have placed on us. And we have not acted in a way that perhaps you would have thought best. And intention doesn't really matter when the impact is as it is, but I do hope. I do hope that we can actually cause something good to happen. Can affect the type of change that needs to happen. That we don't fail.
You are far from useless. will speak to the rebel. But I've also come to give you this. And she kind of reaches behind her and pulls out what looks like this about a foot across iron ring, and like on the desk in front of her.
Isn't the ring the last time we saw a ring with her? We jumped to the oh, recently we actually met another beholder. We killed that one though, but if we're gonna touch a ring, are we gonna be sent to a beholder?
Yes. This has taken a very long time to make, and well over 100,000 gold in materials.
Oh,
If you lose it, you will be lost.
understood.
So that's our key into our secret hideout, basically.
Into Lorathel.
I'm imagining it's a one-time use sort of situation.
It works once per month,
Oh,
so use it wisely.
understood. How do I use this?
She basically gives you like a word that
Okay.
you speak, and anybody touching it at the time would be teleported, much like how you experienced in the past.
Okay. Thank you for this. I am both very grateful and humbled for it, and I also know how absolutely dangerous it is to have access to his realm. I do not take it lightly that I am holding this.
And I will place the Noah's membership on your judgment. If you should decide, then bring her with you next time you use that.
Okay. What about him?
Not yet.
I'm not afraid to do what has to be done if he tries to get the information to anybody else.
She gives you like a slight nod. I will speak to the rebel now.
Fine.
It was really nice to see you again.
She nods.
I hope your cat friends are doing well.
As we get up, I will open the door for Sora and then shut it behind her when she leaves.
Oh,
Okay.
deuces.
Okay.
A word, if I may.
Yes.
I know we don't get along all the time, and I know that I'm a difficult person to be around sometimes. And I don't want to come off as ungrateful, because I know that you pull many strings behind the scenes for us.
Why do you think you happened to run into the Prince of Alraka when you found yourself stranded in the desert?
I had a feeling. And I may be a whiny child, but at times it feels like we're alone out here. And the help you do provide is unseen most of the time, which is I know how you like to work. But it builds a sense of rage in me, and I just wanted to be upfront about it. So I'm hoping that I can have an open conversation with you. Asura loves this country. I frankly don't give a shit about it. And so I don't really care if it all goes to hell when we leave, which it's going to. Because to be quite honest, she shit the bed on that deal. We don't have the ability or the resources to make sure things go smoothly when we leave and go back to Lyrandale. But I know it's important to her. And so she won't ask you for help, but I will. And if I know that you're actually helping in a way that we asked for, rather than just one we have no idea about, it would go a long way with me.
What are you asking for?
I'm asking if you are able to provide any help in keeping the circle breakers from either being taken advantage of or trying to kill the evil patron that we got them employed by. I don't expect you to start a rebellion and free this country. As much as she would like that, and honestly I would too. But that can be at a later time. For now, she's not going to be very focused in Lyrandale if she hears news that all the circle breakers were killed. Which is, I fear, what's going to happen.
I, like you, cannot focus on one single city. The Fae has already succeeded in something never succeeded before in Tiratha. But it is I who told you not to trust him.
No, I don't. His heart is too fleeting.
I will give it some thought.
That's all I can ask. But if you do make effort, just let me know. So it's one less thing I have to worry about.
I will. Because this is an exchange outside of the Eldrin's business. You will know because you will be indebted.
I can work with that. I don't mind making favors and deals that are up front. It's the ones that happen without my knowledge that I have issues with.
Very well.
Thank you. And still a good leave.
Okay. With that, I think we're going to go ahead and take a break before we continue on. So we will be back in about 10 minutes or so. So see you in a minute. All right, welcome back. Hope you had a good break. So as Stoic, Asura, and Asura leave, Sarek, you had seen Zanoa walk back out earlier, rejoining the area, and just go straight to the bar.
Okay.
Looks very troubled. Basically giving off, don't talk to me right now kind of vibes.
Yep. Getting familiar with those. Cool.
Coming out, you also see, eventually, you see Stoic and Asura return. maybe not quite as disturbed, but looking a little like it was a pretty serious conversation.
Really looking forward to this. Sarek's really looking forward to this at this point.
As they call you
Sure.
to make your way back.
I get on up and follow or go to the room where they're tell me to go. Lead me.
Okay. So, you make your way back through an empty hall, that you're familiar with, though it wasn't empty last time. But you make your way to the door and enter, and the room is different than you saw last time you were here. In the past, there were torches and various things lighting the room up.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like the whole room is shrouded in darkness, except for one singular light shining down, kind of creating a cone of light, if you will, with a figure sitting at the desk behind, who Sarek has never seen before, but Larry has.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hadressa.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And if we have gotten the illustrations to work, I'm going to pull up a...
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Got
Try to adjust that a little bit, but it's the first time I think I'm really seeing like Hadressa,
Mm-hmm.
because we haven't had any art before.
Nope, it's brand new.
Yeah.
So, to Sarek, she is, of course, easily the most intimidating woman you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you walk in the room, it's pitch black beyond this cone of light. It is... She sits there, her steel gray eyes piercing yours, and you get that distinct feeling of being seen through.
Mm-hmm.
Very serious, very scary to a point. And you walk in and stand, and she just stares at you silently.
So you got a flair for the dramatic. Okay. Do you want me to sit down? I'm still on like the edge of the light.
If you want to be, yeah.
Sure. Then go take the seat and sit down. And just.
Which as you do, it occurs to you how quiet it is in the room too. So the scraping of the wood against the floor seems especially loud as you sit with this creaking noise, feeling kind of awkward a second as her eyes just follow yours the whole time with this kind of piercing gaze.
So it seems like you had some good conversations with my traveling partners. They seemed to be in really good moods when they came out, so.
Who are you?
I'm Sarek.
You have no family name?
Graydon.
You are not from Lyrandil?
No. Kind of found my way there by accident, intentionally by accident. I don't know. I saw the rebellion happening and felt this urge to get involved. DM side of it, he's making that up. He has no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't know how you ended up in Lyrandil.
Well, I imagine I traveled there.
You imagine.
It's how one typically gets from one place to another place. So yeah.
But you do not know.
I was part of, I don't know, some caravan or just making their way to Lyrandil and got caught up in the mess that was there.
Why were you going to Lyrindale?
I don't know. I don't know if I tend to seek out trouble or trouble just finds me. But I think I heard rumblings of kind of an oppressive government body forcing its will over the people, and really fits my vibe as far as fighting for the side against that. You're really intense. Okay, yeah.
Where did you learn how you fight?
Well, and so I still get that sense that she's just like looking right through me, like she can see. She could basically. Do I get the feeling that she could basically tell if I tell a lie, or more of a?
Roll an insight check.
Okay. 15.
It is hard to read a lot about her, but you do get a very, very no-nonsense impression from her, like a tread lightly kind of impression. Because you, Sarek, still doesn't know who she is or what she's about or anything like that. But there is something about her presence and something about her that is just feels dangerous.
It's something that's it's a different type of danger than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess it kind of depends on what we're talking about, because I've picked up things from all over. A lot of the my basic fighting, I think I've picked up from traveling to different parts of the world and different parts of Erithea, and learning from my mistakes and from other people. I even picked up a couple of things from and this isn't Larry, this is Sarah, he's like the prince of this city or something, of this nation, I don't know. He helped me out with some things, but I imagine you're probably more interested in some of the more magical things that I do. And that comes from a place in Bloodpool. Just need to look it up since I forgot the name of it. I'd assume that's more what you're interested in.
Who taught you?
Let's deep within. Oh my gosh, can't get it open up right now. I don't remember what I named my order now. It's been forever since I looked at it. Did I actually name it?
You did.
Okay. Una momento.
Not that Sarek knows.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I actually named it. I thought I gave it because Sarek knew it.
Well, Sarek, you remember severed ties as part of the deal.
Well, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Bloodpool, the Blood Hunter thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the Ranger side of it. When I was saying that I just picked up things here and there, that was my way of making the Ranger thing work in like his mind.
Okay.
No, the Blood Hunter thing I was getting into a little bit more. I don't think I came up with anything for that. I think it was an unnamed order. Yeah, I don't think I named it anything. Very secluded, I don't know what you would call it, monastery? That feels a little too religious. Just an order that teaches a very specific type of magic, blood magic.
family?
I don't really have any family.
So a man of no family, learned from an order with no name, traveled to a country for no reason. What is missing?
Details. I'm not someone who really sweats the details, I guess.
I am.
Clearly. I'm getting this vibe that you probably know a lot about me, or can see something about me that maybe I'm missing. I'm not concerned about what happened in my past. I'm sure I had a family, and they're no longer part of my life, and I just kind of wandered and done my thing until I wound up in Bloodpool. Yeah, the order in Bloodpool.
She sits there for a long moment in that uncomfortable silence.
Probably trying to figure out why he believes that pretty fully. Or maybe not fully, but why he has a pretty... Yeah, that's probably what happened. Not so much deception, it's just he doesn't know.
If I told you that at the doorway to this room is a very small line of runes, and if one crosses the threshold, it binds you with powerful magic, so that if you had decided to show aggression toward me, you would die. Would you believe that that is an important detail?
Yeah, probably.
The details can be everything. Anything less is sloppy, brutish, and incompetent. But you're not lying. What has happened?
What do you mean?
Something is wrong.
In what way?
With your mind.
Can you... Is that something you can see?
My concern is discernment. To discern whether or not whatever is happening to you and whoever you are and wherever you come from is a threat. I am who Asura and Stoic work for.
That actually kind of explains a lot about them. Okay. You want to know if I'm a threat to something.
I want to know if I should allow you to live.
Well, I'm definitely of the mind that you should. Be a preference. Yeah, I prefer that.
You have come into knowledge that you should not have.
I mean, if you're talking about anything that they've said, they have been so vague on things, and it goes way over my head.
Yet they seem to think you are more closely connected to what we do. Why do they say this?
That's a really good question. Look, we haven't really talked a lot. Most of it has been, I feel like most of it's been them arguing and me just being in the room while it's happening. Sometimes they say things that sound weird, but it's a weird world, so there's no context to anything that they're saying. I have no context. It is just they throw out something about, I don't know, angels, or I don't even know if they said angels. I don't know if there's been any names. It's always vague, and it's never directed toward me.
It does not matter when it is directed.
That's fair. So you're wanting to know if I am a liability or dangerous toward this information that is proprietary to you, and whether
The information
mm-hmm.
that is valuable to the universe. You know what we do.
To the DM, do I know what they do? Okay.
Yeah, I mean they've talked to you. You know, it was a few sessions ago. They gave you, they were talking about it. You were there, and you were like, "Oh, this is a lot to take in."
Okay.
And all that, the whole thing about the Eldrin and everything.
I maybe it was more one of those, like, we just give
It was
everything.
quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're talking about the what's the term they used? Eldrin? Is that right? Is that what that is?
Eldrin.
Eldrin. Sorry. Yeah, they were talking about that the other night, or the other day, or whatever it is. I mean, well, there was a, I don't know if it's a coincidence, or because I don't know if I believe in coincidences. We spoke to a creature in the desert, and they mentioned something about, was it Adandra, the world spider? And I heard that name brought up again with some importance by, when I say it's a being that I can't tell you anything about, it's because I don't know anything about it. But it did mention that I need to find the world spider because she's apparently disappeared.
What being?
That's a really good question. As frustrating as my ambiguity as it is to you, that's about how ambiguous he was towards me. Very vague.
He gave you no name.
He did. The Astral Raven. Seems like you might know something about that. Is that a good or bad something?
How did you come to speak to the Astral Raven?
Oh, that is quite the story there. He takes a second because he hasn't, in his mind, he hasn't told this story to anyone. There's only the people in the order know of the story. I can be a bit ambitious when it comes to seeking power, and and this order I was telling you about, that where I learned my kind of hemocraft blood magic. While I was experimenting with some things that were way beyond what I should have done or knew how to do, and ended up making myself sick. And at that point, he kind of, it's not out, it's actually under his thing, but he kind of rubs this right here on his chest a little bit. And during that time, apparently, I also got the attention of who I now know to be the Astral Raven. I think I've talked to him twice. The second time was the most I've talked to him. Wasn't overly informative. He kept saying that I needed to find the portals or something, that I have this ability, but I've never had the ability to do that. I don't know what he was talking about with that, but I needed to find the Astral Raven. And he kept talking about an important dragon who disappeared a long time ago. I wrote this down in my notes. I don't remember if you actually said it, because it could have been me making the assumption. Did the Astral Raven actually say Hera? Or just a dragon? A sea dragon? Because I think I made the jump that it was actually talking about Hera.
I'm trying to remember. What was he talking about when he referenced it?
I don't remember exactly. Because if he first talked about Adandra, and then something came up about finding a lost dragon of some sort.
I think it is Hera. Yeah.
I would say that he said Hera, and I need to find portals, and those are that was the to-do list that he gave me. Not sure how to do any of it, but he seemed to think it was really important.
This was all he said.
He did kind of allude to it being really important for, I wouldn't even say the universe, but for like reality, all realities. And that he was, I think he was trying to find a way to our plane. Whether that there were other beings like him that were maybe disappearing. I know that Adandra, he said, disappeared, and it was apparently Adandra is a being like him.
Yes.
So you're
The
familiar.
Weavers.
The what?
The Weavers.
The Weavers. I think he did mention something about that. So you're familiar with these vastly powerful multiversal beings.
I am.
Well, that's good. Maybe you can point me in a direction, because apparently I'm supposed to find one or two of them. I don't know who this here is, but
Hera is the Emerald Dragon. He was once our leader before he left over 1,000 years ago.
You think he's still around? It's a long time. Or you just
Until
want-
then, he was around since before the divide,
I'm guessing that.
or since the divide.
Sarah probably knows roughly when the divide was. Or no? Okay. No? Okay.
Probably not. I mean,
Cool.
you could roll a history check, actually,
Okay.
if you want.
Let's go with this one because it's done alright. Hey, I actually have decent history. Oh, natural 20, 28.
Okay. Yeah, it would not be something you've specialized in or anything like that,
Mhm.
but you know that there are scholars. Because there's debate. The further you go back in history, there's debate over what actually has happened back then in the the creation of the universe or how it progressed, all that kind of stuff. But there's a theory that the divide was something that happened after a period of time where there were beings called ancestrals that it was just a very, very, very different universe before then. And then the divide happened, and all life and the universe itself was divided in a bunch of different ways. And you don't really know the details per se, but you feel like you should know more.
It's like an itch in the back of my head that I can't quite get
like
to.
there's something familiar about it,
Yeah.
but you just can't place it, and it's kind of alarming, honestly. It's kind of worrisome that you feel like you're missing something really important.
You're throwing a lot of information. Well, I guess you're not throwing a lot of information at me because you're not saying a whole lot other than kind of threatening me, which is fine. I respect that. But look, you mentioned that there's something wrong with me, with my mind, and if I'm being honest with you, I get this feeling when you mention the divide. Like I have a pretty good idea, but I feel like there's just something I'm missing that I can't. There's just something there that I can't grab onto. Like it's like trying to grab air with your palm. You can't grip it, and there's something there. So you've got me a little worried now. I was having a pretty good day. We were getting ready to head out of this awful city. Now I'm being confronted with things that are a little scary. I mean, do you know what's wrong with me? This is the first I'm hearing about this.
Do a perception check for me real quick.
Okay. A 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't notice anything unusual, but she kind of lets you sit there in silence again.
Oh, and Sarek's leg is just doing that thing on, like it's that nervous.
Which seems especially loud in this dark quiet. Yeah.
Yep.
But her eyes never leave yours.
Yep, of course.
And she says, "There's powerful magic on you. Or the remnants, maybe. I've seen it before. You made a deal."
So we haven't talked a whole lot about this. I mean, I know that Sarek knows he made the deal. He doesn't remember the details of the deal. He knows he gave up something to help someone, basically. Break it down, okay. Does he know it was with a hag?
No, you guys never really figured out what exactly that creature is, or they, or it was.
I think actually Sarek did, because I was able to roll, because it was a fake creature. With the, it's fine. I will say that he forgot, because I'm okay with that. I think it's more interesting.
Yeah, I would say you've put two and two together in assuming that's what it was.
Yeah.
You did know it was a fae, but you're assuming.
Yeah.
You don't know for sure.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. We were lost at sea, and we had our ship had sunk, and I made a deal to get it back, and to get us, now 4 of us, at that time 6 of us, to Alraka. Yeah. I really remember it was a big turtle creature that this place was on. I think it might have been some kind of fae, maybe. Is that what that magic looks like?
Perhaps.
Is it something that'd be taken off of me?
That is not such magic you want to tamper with abnormally. You would need to find the creature again.
Well, that seems really difficult to do. Okay, I mean, you said I would probably assume it was well, you said I would assume it was a fake creature. Do you know, like, what kind of fake creatures would make a deal like that, where it would leave that kind of magical marker?
It is not so much a marker as a familiarity with Fae that I have, and other such creatures. There are many creatures in this universe that will make deals in exchange for great things. But I have dealt with many Fae. And there are many Archfey, the rulers of the Fey courts, hags. There are many beyond that are capable of powerful things.
Okay.
And Fey magic does not always work the way ours does. And if it is this powerful, then there can be unforeseen consequences to trying to undo it improperly. Perhaps those consequences are worth it, but if you willingly made this choice.
I mean, I think I did. No, I know I did.
You should hope it is not a hag,
Why is that?
because a hag would not make a fair deal. They will extract from you suffering. Even if that deal does not appear to be much suffering at first, they will find a way.
I guess I'm going to put that on my to-do list. Find Adandra, find Hera, find portals, and find a way to get this magic off of me that won't have unforeseen consequences.
If the Astral Raven has reached out to you, I will let you live for now. As long as the suffering caused by this, or any other thing about you, does not jeopardize anything we are doing, and as long as you do not share this knowledge, any of it, with anyone.
Yeah.
That includes Adris Tavalon.
Okay. I mean, Adris is more concerned about the rebellion anyway. I don't know why this would be something he would want to know about.
He likes to know
Yeah.
those who work for him. But he has always been too small-minded.
one big battle at a time, right? Yeah, I will,
Some are bigger than others.
as I'm finding out.
This is much bigger.
Yeah, as I'm kind of finding out.
I will not. I need to make myself clear. I would not hesitate to sink your entire rebellion into the sea and let Lyrandil rule for thousands of years if it meant saving this universe.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Yeah, I won't say anything. Not to Aegis or anyone. It will stay with the three of them because they know about this. And that's as far as it goes for me.
Good. Do you have a way to contact the Astral Raven?
No. It is very one-sided and very frustrating. It had been nearly a couple of years between conversations with him. The first time wasn't really a conversation. At least the second time was a little bit more conversational. But no, he basically said he'll reach out when he's able.
They are isolated by design.
Good to know.
It is very difficult to
Yeah,
communicate.
he did
Either
say that.
way.
Yeah, he did mention it was kind of tough for him to do what he was doing. So yeah, I'm kind of at his whim on when I'll hear from him next. Because I think I asked him if there was a way to contact him, and he's like, no. So, yeah.
Listen to him and relay what he says to me through Stoic. His words are important.
Okay. So make sure that Stoic's in the know of what's going on there. Okay. All right. So next time I hear from him, I will let you know through the grapevine.
Very well.
So, anything else that we need to talk about? Because you are freaking me out and I want to leave.
She lets you sit there in silence for another few moments.
Okay.
You may go.
Thank you very much. It was something else to meet you. And then just turn around
Feel
and...
her eyes kind of follow you as
Absolutely.
as you reach the door. She says, "One more question.
Fire away.
Have you shared any dreams with anyone?"
Yes. Oh, which dream did we share? I know we did. For the sake of it, because I can't remember which dream it was now, I'll just tell her that which dream we shared. Like I shared with the rest of them.
It was the one with the wizard visiting some guy and taking his daughter.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was. There were a couple right between when Valen and Sarek happened. I was like, I was getting them a little mixed up.
He mentioned the Void Blade.
Yep.
Anything you see in these dreams, keep an ear out for those as well.
Anything I see in the dreams.
Details are important, Rebel.
Aye, aye, creepy lady. Head on out the door.
Okay. All right. So, if you want to Yeah, because I don't have any way to communicate with them.
I think so. I think actually a couple of them have their phones right now.
Do they?
She's fine. They weren't up there watching.
I'll tell Rachel to tell them.
Okay.
It's a very well-planned transition. Yes.
Well-oiled machine here.
Yeah,
you know,
just
we got
totally-
it. We don't have to walk like all the way upstairs to get. You know, there's no professional studio where you can just go to
Yeah.
the green room right behind the curtains or anything.
Yeah, we could have just notified the staff.
Yeah, exactly. Get on it, guys. Jeez, what are we paying you for? No one's paid here.
Oh man.
Oh, that was a fun first introduction to Hadressa for Sarek.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Yeah. Oh, the moment is like she's basically creeping you out. I was like, okay, well, his defense mechanism is making jokes about it, like just basically stating the obvious and trying to be as nonchalant as possible. Like, all right, let's do this.
To a completely laughless audience. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah. I'm used to those anyway. Oh, making a joke at my own expense.
Oh man.
Do I need to go grab them?
Yeah, it looks like because Rachel's not, or they're not. I don't hear him. I said because I don't hear him.
Well, you get to talk to the camera by yourself.
Yes, indeed. What should I say? Join our Discord. We haven't plugged that in a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to start putting more illustrations for NPCs on there. We've got some country maps that I don't think I ever posted there. I had posted the big Erythea map. Yeah, be sure to join that. Say hi to us. We're all on there. Yeah.
Yep.
You can also check out Wayfair Dice, Cody's Dice Company. They're amazing. We all use them.
We need to see what's going on with those. I haven't seen it in a while.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't know if she's...
Wayfair Dice.
Yeah.
Who?
Ask.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness.
All right. So, as you guys have been kind of quietly just kind of waiting, I had said that you went basically straight to the bar, and whether you drank or not is up to you, but like just kind of like, quietly, just kind of keeping to yourselves. You see Sarek exit finally back into the room with you guys.
Yep.
You were in there a long time.
Oh, probably no longer than you guys were. Actually, I know no longer than you guys were. You were all in there for a long time.
I don't know, man.
So she seems pleasant. In a very off-putting, make you really uncomfortable kind of way. Yeah.
Just to be clear, you guys know that person, right?
No is a strong word. Acquainted, yes.
Yes, acquainted is a better word.
Yeah, she is your employer.
By proxy.
I mean, that's kind of what she said.
Typically, employers pay people, so I don't know if I call her that. But
Depends on what laws you know,
And
country.
what do you consider to be payment?
Yeah.
More of a quest giver, to be perfectly honest.
yes, but we are well acquainted with her.
Well, it's a pretty full bar, I'm guessing right now.
No, there's only a couple of other people.
Okay.
Like it's still like early in the day, so you're
Okay.
it's not.
No day drinkers. Got it.
Yeah, not really, not very much here.
Well, should we head out?
Would we still have to wait a little bit longer to get all the packages or the shipments pulled together?
Well, yeah, I was head out of the bar.
Oh.
That's like out of Tiratha.
So that's what I was going to ask. Is that our plan? Is to return with the goods?
Well, I would imagine so, because we want to make sure they safely arrive. At least the first shipment.
I understand that. I just don't remember if we worked that out as part of the deal.
Yes, because also we're going to have to be a little sneaky about getting back into Lyrandil.
Understood. That's why I was putting my brain to work figuring out how we're gonna get back.
Yeah, but also, you know, it takes a little bit of time to get the shipment pulled together and all that stuff, and I'm sure there's some shopping and other things that need to happen to kind of get ourselves well equipped for a journey back.
Mm-hmm.
How are we, I know that we, I don't know if I want to say lucked upon, but we did find that skeleton king, and I don't know where we're sitting with finances right now.
Hold on one moment, please. We are inventory. We're doing all right.
That doesn't answer the question.
We're at over 7,000 gold at the moment.
Is there anything that we need? I mean, are
Well,
you
there's a lot of
fine
stuff.
with- are
We
you
still have a
fine with
bunch of stuff
diamonds?
from grabbing stuff
Yeah.
that we haven't actually gone through.
Actually,
I totally forgot to give you, or to make the dagger that you guys found.
The red blood dagger
Yeah,
thing. It's alright. You can do it to me later.
I'll have to.
I will look at it, and you can later tell me what it is.
Yeah.
We've gone through a lot. We haven't really sat down and taken inventory.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna experience a little bit of downtime, that may be beneficial.
So,
Look at what we have and what we need.
I've set aside
Yeah.
a few of the spell books that we found to give to what's her name? Easy's mentor.
Is that what we want to do with them? Well,
I can't
most
use
of them are. I know that, but spellbooks are worth a lot of money.
Sure. I didn't say I was going to give them to her, but perhaps she can better assess what they are, because if I'm going to sell something, I want to make sure that I'm not selling, like, the spell book that can destroy the world.
I agree. I know some of those were held by necromancers, and I don't know if they need to be returned to the public.
No, that's why I was going to have her look over them.
Okay. They're going to be hard to sell in Lyrandil, though, is the issue.
Well, we don't have to sell them in Lyrandil. We can just hold on to them and sell them at a later time if it is worthy of selling.
So I've got some like trinkets and things I've got from the Night Maiden. I'm guessing those are just like
The jar of beads and the potion of healing and the bolts of clothing and the whetstone.
I don't know. I just wrote down trinkets, Night Maiden trinkets. I'm assuming they're just like it's just gold value.
Oh yeah,
kind of stuff.
your thing with all the trinkets inside.
Yeah,
it.
just
yeah.
that and also the pewter
I
pendant
mean-
I'm be interested in.
Trinkets as in not really worth anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've made sure not to pick up anything, so I have to manage it. What are you in need of? You did say that you need stuff.
it's kind of expensive, but
Well, if it helps out the cause.
I mean,
think I could use a really fancy bowl,
For cereal, right?
something like that, for us to eat out of that could help us significantly for the day.
what do you plan to do with it?
I mean, I guess work on my cooking skills a little bit, but whatever goes in there, we eat out of it. I mean, it's got to be 1,000 gold worth bowls.
It's an expensive
At
bowl.
least something nice.
Yeah.
How is it going to help us?
She says it's gonna be good food.
I'll show you. I'll show you. It
I mean-
does everything.
I imagine it is magically inclined to improve our day in some fashion.
Yeah.
Hero's Feast bowl. What is it?
Just kind of give us a
I know.
leg up
Okay, I
in
know.
every
I know.
in every
I know what the hero feast does.
part
Mhm.
of
Okay.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. I
In
still
fact,
need
the
to.
two of you have had one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
yeah, because I was with vampire.
Yeah, Enthers.
Entrus.
That's right.
Enthers gave him a hero's feast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Forgot about
that was some of the best food we ever had, and came in clutch a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay.
Plus, I still have to get some stuff figured out, because I remember early on I said I wanted to get my little like pouch that I could put the poison in for my tail,
Mm-hmm.
and so I want to get a couple little things done.
Still looking for new armor or a shield, but I think we've exhausted our
I will say, as a nice DM, Cithras did say he doesn't recommend you sticking around for long.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make it
there's no
very
plan.
quick.
Yeah.
Grab
For
what
a number of reasons.
Yeah, there's no plan
Well,
to stay here
yeah,
for long. Once that
I mean,
shipment's
if
ready.
you're saying that it's going to take a while for the shipment to get ready.
A couple of days, probably, right?
Yeah, but we don't have to be in town to monitor the tracking pattern of this shipment.
Where do you suggest that we go?
Start heading back towards port. They're going to have to ship it via sea.
Sorry, we didn't come in via port, and so it didn't.
But we're going to need to get to port.
Okay.
How long has it been since we fought the order in that little village? Has it been like a day?
Let's see. Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah.
I mean, we could go back and see if there's anything left over there. We didn't really
I would
grab
rather-
anything.
I would honestly very much not like to return there.
That's fair.
What time is it now?
At this point, probably about noon.
Let's.
We could spend the rest of the day trying to arrange transport to the port.
Let's talk with our friends that I have now unfortunately put in a very tenuous situation to coordinate our path out
Mm-hmm.
and get you your bowl and let's get the fuck out of here.
I think. Do you remember the prince's code name?
The prince's code name? Kid next door.
Not a kid next door. He actually had
No, I know.
a cover name, right?
It was a while back.
Just wondering if we might want to pay our respects before we leave.
After we've committed crimes here?
Well, I mean, what crimes did we commit?
Several.
I thought those crimes weren't serious in this city.
Only if you admit to them.
They're not. They're not
I
serious.
don't have a code name written down. I don't think.
I can't remember what name he was going by in the city.
I mean, we do know his name is Deshrian, but I don't.
Yeah, Dash. That is his
Dash
that
was
is
the
his
name,
code name.
yeah.
That's not his real name. I mean, I guess we don't have to say goodbye unless maybe you want to send him a message.
What you have in mind?
It's
Hey,
more of,
cutie, how you doing?
it's more of like just a thank you, and that because he may come to find us, and if we're leaving, I just don't want to lose contact with him if he needs to contact us in the future. So, just saying goodbye, and well, I guess we don't really have anywhere he could write to reach us.
We can reach out to him.
Well, do you even think it's worth reaching out to him?
I do, but I've tried to play politics now, and I feel like I may have done a terrible job at it. I did explicitly say in the past that I would never play politics, and then of course I walk back into my hometown and I go, you know, first thing I'm going to do is play politics.
Yeah.
On our way out, we can just send them a quick.
Actually, yeah, I think I've got a message you can send him. But
That's
we
what
don't
I
have
think.
to do it right now.
Do we'll go ahead and go up to the was it the 7th level to try to find the fancy bowl?
And I'll get things coordinated for our getting out of town quickly. Also, we still need to pay that man that we got the camels from. That those camels are never returning.
Do we?
Yes. Right. I will give you what you need financially so that you can get your bowl.
You better make it $12.50
Why?
because everything on the 7th level is overpriced.
Have you not tried to barter? Are you just paying face value?
Will you just give her
Here,
money?
baby. Here's $12.50. Don't spend it all in one place.
Thank you.
I like being the sugar mama of the party.
I didn't take it. I handed it to
There's
you.
there's an inherent
You
power.
You notice Anoa's quiet since seeing her.
Yeah. I do. When you do have access to the funds, I just kind of squeeze your hand and be like, "You want to talk about that later? When we're not sitting in the city."
Well, I don't. Do you want company to the 7th level? Because I don't really want to. I have nothing to say to the chain breakers.
Do you want to go with them or do you want to be with me?
I guess I can go with you.
Okay. I want to help coordinate getting us travel out and also a more comfortable way of leaving instead of on foot.
Okay.
Also, she is so cool. I just thought it was
Yes.
Oh, the dress up?
We managed to get it up, yeah.
She's amazing. I love. Why do you think I adore her
This is
so
the first
much?
time we're actually seeing art.
She's not in
Yeah.
costume in that, right? That's
No, that's how
No,
she looks.
that's in my mind. She's always been Carmen Sandiego, only
Yeah.
scary.
I always imagined her shorter for some reason.
Nah, she's a goddess.
She's
an angel.
She's
Uh-huh.
not tall, but she's not like overly short either.
Okay.
Like she's.
She also makes herself
you know.
big. Like, she just she just lifts everything up.
Yeah, she absolutely feels big.
Yeah.
But she's not
Just 'cause she's
in
a badass.
physical stature. She's not that tall. She's less than 6 feet.
And where Sarah thinks he's a badass, she is one.
Why do you think Sarah wants to be like her so much?
So, all right. So, we'll fast forward through a few things here. The bowl. So you guys are going to get the bowl from the Mephistophelium. Is that all you're trying to get?
I'm gonna ask if he's gotten in any new shields, specialty shields or armor.
Okay. In
'Cause I'm always on search.
2 days.
Yeah, I doubt it, but it doesn't mean I'm not gonna ask.
I also need to stop at the Lemon Market on the way back. I think that was just like the lower. It's just like it's like food and stuff.
Okay, I was just
I need
wondering.
some stuff there.
I mean, I'm getting like rations and things. for
Talking about the Mystic
travel.
Here you go.
Sands?
Yeah, because I'm
Alright.
coordinating travel.
And I'll tell you to pick up
Mm.
25 gold worth of mushrooms, saffron, and fat.
Mushrooms, saffron, and fat.
No new shields.
Okay, that's fine. I figured as much. I just thought I would ask.
You know, he does offer to, since you're a returning customer, he would he is willing to go down to 11,000 for the carpet of flying.
I still got his list. He's got leather armor, which we bought.
Uh-huh.
Pipes of handling. Dancing Reaper.
Pipes of haunting.
Haunting. So I can't-
It's a very different
I was
thing.
writing very quickly.
Types of handling and
Yeah.
types of haunting are two very
Elemental
different things.
gems, dancing rapier.
Iron
Uncut
Band.
gems. I'm
The-
sorry.
the plus-
It
It's
died.
back.
Yeah, plus 2 leather armor, carpet of flying.
Yeah, we bought the
bands.
+2 leather armor.
Okay, the iron bands of Bellaro. He did have the +1 shield.
I didn't write that down. How much did he want for that?
1750.
Oh, I guess I did write 1750.
And then a bunch of the smaller stuff. There's the different
Yeah.
stones that do a bunch of different things,
Yeah.
augment skills and things like that.
Which I
There's-
bought some of those, which I have. I've got the cantrip stone or the cantrip potions. and-
Well, those two.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, that's fine. Okay. The +1 shield wouldn't be bad, but I don't think we need that right now.
Hey, Rabadatra. It's you, right?
Mhm.
Got any bowls? Really nice bowls. Large bowls.
Well, we are not a kitchenware shop. You must understand, but I assume
I mean, a decorative bowl,
you
honestly.
mean of kind and quality for spellcasting, yes?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, perhaps. Roll an investigation check for me.
26.
Yeah, he's got one.
Okay, cool. For 1,000 gold?
1,100.
Okay.
It just,
I look at stuff.
that's why I asked for more money. I already knew.
Yep.
I have some 150 left. Tracking where that gold is.
Mm-hmm.
So
You
good.
know.
So good to see you again within a couple of days. I hope to see you frequently from now on.
Yeah, you definitely will.
Excellent, excellent. Are you sure I cannot persuade you to the wonderful carpet? Not many people can fly for such prolonged periods of time.
I am very tempted, but
You could take a very special someone.
we have
See a whole new one.
other priorities for our finances at the
Do
moment.
you trust me?
Well, I didn't realize you were so limited on funds. It's tough. When,
It's not the limitation of funds. It's more of the priority in your importance, which isn't up there. So.
well, yes, limitations are matter when you don't have an appropriate amount of funds. It's all right.
That's fine.
I don't judge.
Thank you.
Glad you jump in, 'cause we just keep going back and forth.
All right, so in the back of your mind, you're sitting there going, "He's calling me poor, and we're spending
Yeah.
gold that people don't see in decades."
Trying to bait me into spending more money. I understand what he's doing.
Okay, so you wanted to go to take care of the camels. They're
Yeah.
50 gold each. You did 3, so that'd be 150.
Yeah. I'm just basically paying that off.
Which he is not happy about.
No, but I did want to at least make sure he got compensated appropriately. I don't want to leave anybody that angry around here.
Yeah.
Not this time around.
Yep.
Okay. What else was there?
We're getting food and things like that, but I was specifically asked to grab mushrooms, saffron, and fat that's at 25
Yeah.
gold, which I already put the 25 gold off.
Okay, so that'll take you, probably late afternoon by the time you get around all the way down to the bottom to do the outside, basically to do the camel guy, and then the mammon market, and then to find all the different things and ones that you trust or that are good and price.
I definitely lean heavily on, what's her name? Our tiefling friend, Misa, to help me kind of know who to talk to.
Oh, you're trying to find her first?
Well, wasn't Misa with us? Because she had brought us down there to talk to.
Sylvanos. Did she?
I
Yeah.
don't think she did.
No, she was just there for the conversation, and then some
Oh.
other dude was like, "You need to."
No, she went to go tell everybody else what was going on.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I basically ask them before we leave, who should we talk to, to get the best.
Ask who?
Our contact guy, the guy who brought us in to talk to Hethra. I mean, not Hethra.
I'm
I'm just gonna ask anybody where to go so they don't waste as much time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the people in the know of who is the right people to talk to be quick and
Just
concise.
asking some locals. Got it. Okay, no problem. So, yeah, getting all that done, it's probably late afternoon, early evening,
Perfect.
before you get to the point of if you're going to go talk to the circle breakers. And we'll say that before you left Sethers, you were able to get at least a place where you can meet and find somebody, a way to contact them, basically. So if you go meet with them, you find a group of excitement is definitely not the word. They are confused, kind of quiet, kind of couple of them very unhappy. They have a lot of questions like, what are we supposed to do? Where do we go? Do we go north to the border? Do we try to go by boat somewhere? What do we do? Are we supposed to go the whole way with it? Who do we talk? How do we get it across the border? These are not smugglers. These are former slaves that
I'm aware.
that have never left the city.
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm
That have
perfectly aware.
most of them haven't been outside Tirotha, so it's
Yeah.
like, what do we do?
You've asked a bunch of great questions, and I've really kind of fucked things over with this one. I know a little bit about the little thing. We're going to have to make a lot of friends and a lot of connections very quickly. And it is going to require us to be smart and savvy and hyper vigilant to make sure that we are making the right connections with the right people in the right ways. But it is lucky that it is us that is doing it, for we have lived our entire lives in that state of hyper-vigilance, hyper-awareness, always looking over each other's shoulders. And we are going to use those skills and our knowledge to our advantage here.
So Mises is, so you have connections that'll help us get into Lyrandil with this?
No, and yes, and no. We're gonna try to mend fences and build bridges where we can, and we're going to bumblefuck our way through most of it. For as you know, that is sometimes the best way to do it. We have survived on just the sheer unwillingness to die. In a land that wants to eat us whole every second of every day. The sand wants us back. We live in a city that has perpetually tried to smash us down to nothingness, to torture our minds and our spirits, and yet we have not died. We thrive. We continue to thrive. And we will figure this out too.
And there's like a lot of past looks between the circle breakers that are gathered there, and one of them you hear grumbles like, well, why don't we just send the rebels a sheer willingness not to die? That's all that's needed.
They have it too. You are more alike than you are not. You both want to see a country that exists, that does not oppress its people, who does not want to violate everyone's ability to be themselves, who wants financial freedom, who wants the space and the place to just exist and make their own decisions and thrive and fail spectacularly in their own ways, with choice.
You're talking to kind of an older tiefling, kind of still muscular, like still spry, but like a little bit older. Who says, "Well, that's nice and all, good for them, but it certainly seems like they haven't come to help us."
They didn't know you existed until now.
And why would they? We have nothing to do with them. They have nothing to do with us. Why? We shouldn't be in this. This is not our fight. We're helping send resources to another country instead of helping us, who desperately needs it.
Because friendships are forged when we give of ourselves. Friendships are forged that are repaid time and time again, and this world is seeing darkness fall every day. And I am not speaking hyperbolically, because I know the stories and I know the legends. But there is real things happening on this earth right now. Terrible things that are getting far worse every day. And we need friends and allies anywhere and everywhere we can. No, they are not here, and no, we are not there. But what affects them affects us here. What ends a war there ends a war here. The borders have been... How many brethren of ours have died at the borders fighting against Lyrandil? A bullshit war that has gone on for who knows how fucking long. Does anyone remember why we are fighting?
And you think you're going to end the war between Alraka and Lyrindil? A war that still has nothing to do with Tiratha. And he like throws up a hand and in a gesture, is like, I'm done talking about this. Like,
You are very well and valid to feel the way you do about things. But the world is changing, and it has been changing for a long time. And the world outside of Tiratha is getting closer. Tiratha is not a safe bastion in the middle of the desert anymore. The world is creeping in, and either you need to be ready for the fight and the change that comes, or you will perish with those who sit back and wait. Your decision is yours, for you have the free will to make it.
yeah, he's just staring daggers at you. He's like, it's very clear that some of the group is not very happy with this arrangement.
For my part, I am sorry for putting you in this situation. I thought I was doing right by you, by this cause, to give you the arms to fight back and help forge connections that would put you in an advantageous playing field outside of Tiratha alone. But I made that decision rashly and in optimism, without really understanding the consequences of the decision I made.
You hear a bit more grumbling before Mises says, listen, I understand how you feel. I feel some of it too, and yes, these are strangers, but we trust the Madasa, and this is what he has wanted from us. He is the only reason we are here and why we are here as long as we have been. We have no reason not to trust him now. And that kind of shuts him up. And
Thank you. I am not so good at the aspirational speeches. I ran from this country once. And my journey will take me away from it again. But I want to see a change, because I want to come home someday. And when I come home, I want to see it a free nation.
okay.
And I will do what I can to help, to build those connections, to build those roads, to give you the leverage to be able to help and make better decisions than I did.
Well, Misa just kind of pats your arm and says, we know you'll do your best. Now, who is going to help us with the border?
That's a great question. We have connections with some people. Some people don't like us right now, but I'm going to start pulling all the strings I can. We're going to find out if they work.
So where are we going?
To the port. Down south. The main one. I forget.
Garash?
Is that the name of it?
It's the one that you were supposed to go to.
Yeah. Is it Gresh?
Uh-huh.
Garesh. Seems the best way to get to charter. We know a boat. They do not like us right now. But I am going to see if there is any way that I can mend that bridge. Or potentially have a different bridge built.
Okay. Is your plan to travel with them, or are you sending them on their way and then you're going separately?
I thought we were going to help get the smuggling, like get the first, like, container on the boat.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like, is that
Yeah.
the plan?
Yeah.
You're going with them for
Yeah.
this first? Okay.
To help start building those connections.
Okay, cool.
Because I really am going to have to use my persuasion, my guys.
Okay. All right. All right, then I think we can, unless there's anything else you want to say to them right at the moment.
No, I'm going to start talking in circles.
So let's break that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that joke was
Sarah
layered.
coming again.
Sarah's in the corner just like,
Yep.
sure.
Okay. So, as you guys prepare to try to get together with the circle breakers to, head out, is there anything else you're wanting to do in Tiratha before you leave?
No, I'm good. Ready to leave the city.
No, I want to send that message to the prince, but that's all.
Okay.
I would ask you. We're about to leave. How do you feel?
Less scared than I was last time. And it doesn't feel quite so much like a closed door as it used to. Still, I'm in danger. There's still somebody out for me, or people who look like me. But I don't know, the city doesn't feel quite so unapproachable as it used to. And I hope that I'm doing right. I feel like I'm making just terrible decisions. Selfish decisions. I feel like I might have hurt more people than I've helped. I don't know.
Figure it out. Figure it out.
But I hope I can come back. And I am sad that I am leaving my brothers behind here. I wanted them to see my home. And now they live here. And I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. But such as it is, what I'm most anxious about is the fact that I don't have their sword to bring back to his sister. Because I know that matters to their family. And I don't know where to or how to find it.
For looking at him.
But she deserves to have it.
Yeah. Are you gonna tell her?
I think either Stoic or I will. I have a feeling I will. I do not look forward to that. Her heartbreak. But I have a lot of time to sit and think with it.
Well, when you do, can you tell me how you tell her so that I can know how to tell Aziri?
Yep. I have a feeling, though, she will take it better than his sister will. I feel like death is not quite so scary for her. But we will cross these bridges as they come.
So we're all back together now, right?
Yeah, we'll say you guys are together as you're preparing to leave, assuming the next morning, unless you want to go ahead and leave tonight. It's kind of up to you and, time and, how much time you want to keep spending in the city.
Traveling during the day is never fun. So I feel like if we start
How
traveling...
did the meeting with the circle breakers go?
Mixed. Some of them are upset. Some of them are just following along with Citrus's orders.
So
But they are not ready for what I have put them into. And
So is Hathra putting them in charge
Getting the ship
of getting the shipment back, or is she just having them guard it?
it sounds like they're doing the shipments too.
Because I kind of thought Heather would have the logistics of it put together.
I was under the impression they were just guards
Yeah.
and that she was logistics. But it seems like they're now dealing with logistics too. And
So now,
Well, to some degree, there's a lot of overlap. I mean, she plans the shipments, like, they're not managing inventory or anything like that, but they are basically taking the shipments. Like, they might have a couple of others who are drivers or something like that, but they're not the
I more mean like they're the ones that need to organize the smuggling, or she is. Like she's taking care of the border crossings and all that stuff, or they are.
There has been no in-depth discussion about any of that kind of detail.
that's why I was about to get you on the book with
Idris.
That's what I was going to do.
yeah.
And
But-
get you on board for the ship, getting in touch with the ship, the Hurricane Sisters.
But I don't know what you signed us up for. That's what I'm asking.
Nothing was ever set in stone. What I have put in motion is a very loose, janky, built on stilts.
Basically, we're going to learn a new skill today.
Did
We're
you
gonna learn
ask them
logistics.
what they were told by Hathra?
Well, they were asking me questions as if they've never heard anything ever. So
So there's been no communication from Hathra to the Chainbreakers.
nothing of any note. Everything's going through.
So how do we know the shipment's ready?
Citrus is their joint communication.
So Cithris is our point of contact.
Correct.
Then we need to talk with him before we plan anything. Because we don't know what we're responsible for at this point.
I have a feeling that we, personally, are not responsible for anything. However, I am responsible for the circle breakers. On a moral
We
scale.
are responsible for making sure that the rebellion has weaponry.
Correct, which we have done. We have
How
set
do we
up.
get it there? When's it leaving? How much?
That was never our part of the project.
That is our part of the project.
No, our project was to reopen the channels. Was to get her to start sending shit out again. That was what our part of this
But
was.
we took the way that she was getting stuff.
I
Yeah,
know,
we're
that's
new
what I'm
guys.
saying. Now that's what I am agreeing with you with. What I am saying is I have caused problems.
I understand that. But
So
I'm
what
trying
I'm
to
saying
make
is
sure
you
you
need to
understand what those problems are.
Yes,
so
I'm
we can
perfectly
address
aware.
them.
Shipping, friendship, magic, yes, I'm aware of all of it. What I am saying is you need to talk to our contact and the rebellion to figure out what their side of the shipping shit looks like. We need to talk.
I'm willing to do that, but it doesn't sound like we understand what our side is.
Correct, because he's never told us what our side is.
You're leading this up. That's why I asked you, and you just said, I understand all of it.
I said I understand that there's a lot of questions I don't have answers to. I say that I am perfectly aware of the muckery that I have caused.
Yes. Which- Why I'm asking the questions.
Yes.
So it sounds like Cithris is our point of contact.
Here.
Sure.
Okay, now you. Thank you for a straight answer.
Sure is not a straight answer.
We need to figure out what we're doing.
Yes,
I thought that's what you went to the circle breakers for. It sounds like you went to give them a motivational speech
I did.
and actually found nothing of substance.
Correct.
Let's just get in touch with Silvers.
Yeah.
Citrus is the one in charge, not the individuals.
That is the scariest thing I've ever heard you say.
It's true though.
Then we need to go tonight. We need to get out of this city.
That's why I said
and
that's
we
good.
can't leave unless we know when we're leaving, what we're leaving with, and where we're going.
Please call Citrus. Please call what's his face after we call
Citrus is here. Why would we message him?
Because I don't want to walk all the way back up. It's far.
I don't
It's
think you
also
really
kinda lightweight.
understand how that magic works.
I don't.
I hate
Not
to say
even-
that, but
I don't
really
understand
think you
anything
have
how
no
magic
clue.
works.
And I'm not contacting Adris to tell them that we screwed the pooch until we understand what we're involved in.
That's why I said we're gonna call him after we talk to Citrus.
No, you said you call him, figure it out. When this was all of you in the beginning.
It's early evening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
How
go
long does it take
see
to get up to the
Citrus.
8th level?
Okay, everybody, both of you shut up.
I mean, you know, half an hour
Okay.
or more, depending on traffic.
All right.
Can you even get in? Because I forget which one of you is on your ID.
Yeah, I gotta hold on. I gotta go into the bathroom and put my makeup on. No, I'm still dressed up from before.
I don't know.
Zayas.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still dressed up as Mosaius.
Okay.
Because I got dressed this morning when we started traveling, just in case.
All right. Let's go talk to Citrus, and then we'll come back and enact the next part of this. Make it
It's
up as we go
chaos.
plan. Yeah. Well, that's par for the course.
Okay.
Listen, I was really under the impression there was a bit of hand waving for this part of it. I didn't know I had to act my way through this.
Like I said, we're learning a new skill today. We're going to
I mean, I
learn
hate to say
logistics.
this,
I would
but
if
I
it was a
don't-
given, but you guys haven't really.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do. You know?
Well, I hate to say this, but your guy Citrus, I have no faith in this conversation.
I have none either, but the thing is that's her answer. That's who our contact is now. Because it's the leader of the group she put in charge.
And I just start walking back up to talk to
We're
Citrus.
going- Sarek,
Yes.
please. I don't have the best relationship.
I've
with
seen
him.
that. Yes.
She does. No offense, I don't feel like she knows the right questions to ask.
Uh-huh.
I need one of you two to ask the right questions, because if I do, it's going to get us in another fight.
All right.
We need to know what contacts he has to transport the stuff. He doesn't have any.
He doesn't have any. We're going to be. I mean, we're going to be responsible.
We need to understand the best of his knowledge of what we're responsible for. I understand he's not going to be any help. That's a given. But we need
You
to
want to ask
understand.
him what we're responsible for? He wasn't even there for the. He's never even seen a contract. He has no idea.
None of us are. But if
What information did Jasar?
Oh, yeah, 'cause she
give
has no idea.
when-
He's
'cause
the
you met
leader
with
of the
Jasar.
circus.
Yeah,
after the
what
fact.
information
Yeah.
did Jasar give me?
Yeah, was it just meet at this point with, and we'll give you the supplies, or what information did you
That's
Yeah, basically.
that's who we need to talk to.
Yeah.
So, basically, the
Jasar.
way it works is Jasar told you, there's, a couple of levels, if you will, of how their organization works, and so they basically provide the weapons that goes through their system, if you will. You get it, and it's your job to take it and get it where it needs to go
Got it.
to hand over to who, in this case, the rebels, for local distribution as they want to.
That was always the deal. We're responsible for that.
That's what she agreed to. That's what
Okay.
the Divine Wind did.
Yep.
And what she
They handle
said, well,
logistics.
they will take their place of. So.
So we know what we need to do. We just have to get everything in place. It starts with figuring out where we already know where we're going to get the supplies, right? We know where we're getting those.
I'm walking up
We
to.
assume.
I'm gonna walk up to talk to Citrus, and I'm gonna pull out all of those documents that I stole from them. That has all of the shipping and trading information.
So, all right. So the four of you are going to talk to Sid?
Yes, yes,
We're all
yes.
going. I just don't
You're
want
just
to be
hanging
the
back.
You're gonna hang out with the block.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to show him that much disrespect. We're on good terms. I want to be there. I just don't want to be the spokesperson.
Yeah, and I'm gonna literally lay out all the documentation that I stole from the Windy people, that had all
Did you
of
say
this
Windy or Wendy?
Windy.
Okay.
Stole from Wendy's.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's all.
I stole it from Wendy's.
Here's all the Lost Boys
because-
profiles.
Listen, we are lost children.
Bangarang.
And like I'm gonna like sit with this documentation because they had all their documentation for all of this that I stole from her.
Stole a good amount of it.
So I'm gonna like sit with it and be like, all right, let's piece this together.
Before we leave to go to Cithras, right? Because if you take that to Cithras, he's going to get bored and just say, I'm done.
Well, I'm gonna ask Cithras to talk to one of his people who does the navigational part of his job because it doesn't seem like he does.
He doesn't have those people. You're basically asking him to reach out to somebody he sleeps with and go do this.
Why would
You understand that, right?
That's not my problem. Who he sleeps with.
It is your problem.
Who he sleeps with is not my problem.
Okay. I don't even know if we need to go talk to Cithras. To be quite, if we've been told where the shipment is going to be, we are can tell the circle breakers where to go to pick it up.
Yes, we already know
Then
this.
we're in
Talk to
charge.
command.
Yeah, we're in charge of getting it onto the ship or however we're going to transport it, and then we're responsible for getting it into the country into Lyrandil.
We need to find a smuggler at the port, is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Well, yes. If we can't get the Hurricane Sisters, then we need
Okay.
to find someone else. And we talk to Adrian. We say, hey, how do we get this in
Who,
the
do,
country?
who are your smugglers at port
Okay,
right now?
how about this first? Have you read the documents that you took?
Well, I piecemealed it together before, but I'm now sitting with them in front of me.
And what information can you glean from your documents?
You've asked a great question.
Roll an intelligence check.
This is the documents from
From the Wendy's.
From the beholder.
from Allison's office.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm pulling all the docs. I'm just pulling out all the documents.
Yeah, it's let me double check, but I believe it's mainly like like logs and stuff of stuff that's been taken and that sort of thing.
The Wendy's had a lot of logistic docs too.
Yeah, there are some numbered routes, but not really details of those routes. Just
Code a little bit.
taken via fourth route, taken via third route, taken that sort of thing.
Do I have the document with the routes? To at
You
least see
have
what
documents that allude to numbered routes. You don't.
Do I have a map with the routes?
No, that's what I'm saying. There's no details.
Are there any names?
You said there were code names.
Code names are fine. But we're gonna have to search down a smuggler at this port, and if we don't have anything to go off of, it's gonna be really hard to find a smuggler. I mean, one that could go into Lyrandil.
I mean, whoever wants to can roll a history check.
Can I do a? Is there a way that I can do a check for to hit an oasis and to basically start talking with like caravan drivers, because that is something that a lot of them used to do, was the ones who went north south.
You're gonna have us
there
bring
were
it up via caravan.
there were smugglers that often were part of some of the like open caravans.
Oh, hold on. Is somebody rolling in history?
Roll a history
History.
for what?
If anybody wants to, they can roll a history
Okay.
check.
25.
You do know a smuggler in Lyrandil.
Okay.
The prince.
No, you said Lyrandil.
No,
Oh.
it's
The
our
odd
good
boy?
friend that we've ran
Legit
into
smuggler.
twice. It's the guy we've ran into twice that hates us.
The Odd Boys guy?
Oh, yeah, that's right. The one that.
Now, I know who, no
Yeah.
matter what we do, we're gonna have to get through him. The guy that got us in, shoved us in the barrels, sent us down the.
He was doing his job. That wasn't him.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
was.
That's the Odd Boys guy, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Stratherian fountain.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's going to be some kind of deal
That
we'll
guy.
have to make.
That guy is the gate into Lyrandil, basically.
Yeah.
for
Once
anything
we get
continental.
to Lyrandil, we just need the route
But if we go by
from here
ship,
to Lyrandil.
we're gonna have to contact him before then. Because
Well, do you
we're
want to
gonna
try to
be-
do this by land?
That's what I thought you were doing when you brought up caravans.
We could do a land caravan versus an ocean. The ocean port.
That's going to be a long trip.
It'll be a long
I
trip
think the
regardless.
ocean port is easier, but
Can I do is there a way that I can do a check to determine if I could get any sort of like smuggling help via caravans?
Did the Hurricane Sisters know
'Cause I
we were on?
Lived in the caravan life for a long time.
Leon.
Yeah, not really that smuggles into
Okay.
Lyrandil. That's a whole
Well,
different thing.
okay.
Not really. They know we're part of the rebellion. They didn't know we're exactly.
It would be very difficult. Yeah, I don't really think anything that, like, from your background would have crossed that path very much.
Okay.
I mean, yes, going over land is an option. It would involve basically going through the desert to the north. You would know enough. You don't cross the border of Al Raqqa and Lyrandil because that's where the war is always happening.
We'd have to
all
cross
along
back
that
up into
border.
the-
You'd have to go through the Helterlands
Which
for
we did.
quite a
So-
ways.
I'm not doing that.
So in that paperwork, there were no code names of any kind for contacts for the smuggling paperwork. There was no like the man with the wispy beard or some shit.
The guy with the patchy goatee.
Like, I don't know.
Let me see here.
Go into the.
I thought
ports.
that's what you were rolling the history check for.
Oh, yeah,
But-
no.
That's what I was like. Because if we have something we can go off to find the smuggler, the guy who's already done it a bunch of times, and try to win them over in the port city,
Yeah.
that would be our most direct route.
What about the guy that we let go in
Yeah.
in the town?
Oh,
Does he know
good point. I don't
There
know.
is.
But he's a priest. He's an actual priest. He wasn't part of the.
Yeah, he was. He was part of that.
He,
But he might know things.
yeah, he's
Maybe
part
you
of a
heard something.
religion.
Yes. Sorry, I've got her organization like mapped out and all this stuff.
No,
I have to, like,
you're fine.
dig it all up here. So there are references to the saint as somebody that the Divine Wind interacted with to apparently help them get through.
All right.
Can you call the gentleman that helped us?
No, I think it's 3-day ride out of here. I think we need to meet. Hear me out. Disagree if you want. I think we need to meet the chain breakers at the port city and tell them to meet us there in 5 days or whatever the shipment will be there, and we'll stop off at the town.
He may not be there anymore. That's why we need to call him and see where he is.
He's a religious man at that temple. I don't see him going anywhere. I mean, we could if you want, but like
I just
I just
If we ride
as a magic user,
I get
it
that.
costs a lot.
I get that, but it
No.
also costs a lot to ride several days to only find he is not there when we get there.
I'm assuming it's on the way to the port.
It's not.
What? What are you talking about? Who
That
are you
is
talking
north and the port is south.
about? Who are you talking
This
Going back to the city, the town
the
where we
temple
destroyed
town.
the windy people.
Yeah, it's northeast.
Yeah.
You'd have to head out west to go.
it's
towards
opposite
the
direction.
Yep.
Shit.
I don't know how much help
That's
he'll
6
be.
days. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
and-
know.
It's not 3 days. It's a lot closer
Listen,
than that.
he was part of that group, and if he's looking for a job right now, we could use someone of his
I'm not disagreeing.
stability to help.
I
the
just don't think
Oathbreakers.
that's a conversation to have 25 words at a time.
No, but he can start writing towards us.
Maybe we find someone here that can lead a little bit of this, and we just try to
They
do them
need leadership.
fairly well.
Well,
And
and
he-
that I don't disagree. I think we should contact him. I just thought it'd be better in person. If you think,
I just don't know if he'll be there, and I don't want to waste time to go north to have to turn around and go back south.
that's on you.
I'm sorry to ask this of you. Can you contact him?
Who are we contacting?
The dude we
Oh,
freed
boy.
from the prison, from the shackles,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was part of the group.
This is, I feel like I did write his name down.
He was part of the smuggling
Yeah.
group, but I don't think he was part of the
Yeah, 'cause
smuggling.
that's why he
side
was
of it.
locked up. Was that he wasn't willing to do
Yeah.
those things.
Cash,
Yeah, I have Dash.
Gray,
Core?
Core. Yeah. Yeah.
Valoon Paladin?
Yeah.
Tash, yes.
I reach out to Tash. In 25 words and say,
Oh boy.
no, I'm asking. I'm not casting spell yet. I'm asking you guys so that we're
Okay.
clear here.
Basically, if he wants to repay the kindness that we bestowed upon him, he's going to take up being in charge of smuggling.
Let's put another person in charge that have no idea. We don't know if he knows what the fuck he's doing.
What would you like to say to him?
I don't
just
know.
feel like this is a terrible idea.
Do you
Just
have
all
any
around.
idea
I
how to
agree.
smuggle things?
About as much as Tash, right? Yeah.
What do you want me to do, or what do you want me to say?
I was like, I think it's a conversation. Not let's instantly put him in charge.
Hey, Tash, where the fuck you at? We want to have a conversation with you about a potential opportunity.
Here we go.
In 25 words or less.
Have you heard of this MLM we're doing?
Where do you want to meet this guy?
I want him to get his ass towards us.
Being
Here. Or no, okay,
How far away is this place? Please.
The little village thing was not that far away.
Like a day's ride?
I felt it was like a half. I felt like it was maybe half.
we need to know where he is.
he's the opposite way, right? So he
It's
needs
like
to get
half day.
as close to
Yeah.
us as possible.
He is.
Where are we at?
We're some Tirata.
Sandy Boot?
Sure. I guess we're still at the Sandy Boot, right?
We're just saying we'll meet him at the entrance to Tirata.
I mean,
Are
you
we
know the
still-
place.
Still
Would that kind
evening
of
time?
person be,
Yeah,
could get here?
yes.
It's a half a day ride. It's evening time. Tell him he needs to meet us at the gates by morning.
Here? Of Tirata?
Yes.
Okay. Tell
That
him
keeps us
The
from riding out.
gates.
to meet at the gates of Tirata by dawn.
The north gate or whatever. Pick a gate.
Yeah, I'll tell him which gate.
Or
Just say the gate, and hand waving will happen.
yes.
Okay.
Hey, over here.
He knows what we look like.
Yeah.
So do you want
He
to
doesn't know what I
do you
look
want to meet
like,
him in a gate or do you want to meet him in a place? The only places I know are on the 4th level, and that's
No,
the Sandy Boot.
we'll meet him at the gate.
But you know the fourth level is somewhat easy to access. Like it's the 4th to 5th that it starts
Fuck
getting
that. Let's
hard.
have him meet us at Sandy Boot.
Okay, fine. Meet us at Santa Boot. Tell him how to get there.
These are your saviors.
Tash.
Please request.
One of your 4 saviors here. Repay us some kindness. Meet us at the Sandy Boot on the 4th level. 2 more
No, you got 7 more. Or 8 more.
by morning.
Life or death.
This isn't a question.
Tell him. One left.
I'm good.
Okay.
This isn't a question.
This isn't a question?
After a moment, you hear back.
All right.
Let's go. Okay.
That's it.
That's all.
That works. Now we can have a conversation. We don't have to spend a day and a half riding after him.
He said he's coming.
Perfect. Do we want to talk to,
No. Not until we have some resemblance of what the fuck we're doing.
Almost
We've-
though.
We've already contacted them and looked like the fools more than once on this trip.
they did hire the Foley. That's
in
really
the
more of a
name.
them thing
I-
than
I-
us.
I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah, that's
But
their
like,
fault.
How would that message go?
What's up? It's your boy Stoic. I don't fucking know. Stoic, I don't know if you can tell. I'm spiraling.
I see.
I can tell.
It's like the most D&D thing happening right now.
We made a bad decision. How do we fix it?
I
Double down!
Yeah.
on a whim, made a terrible choice, thinking I was altruistically making the right decision, to only realize that I have done fucked shit up so fucking bad. And I am doing my utmost to at least not get anyone killed from my stupidity.
If we are trying to assist you with it.
And I am appreciative of it. I don't know what adversarial role you think I am trying to take here. I am doing my
was just
best.
hoping that from that decision you may have went, I don't know, maybe I should think about this before jumping into it.
I did, and then I didn't.
Yes, but I mean, moving forward, think about the things before we jump into them, like assigning some random guy to lead the smuggling.
I would like to point out that you are the #1 influence of my decision making based on your track record of shit decision making on impulse.
I'm not disagreeing,
So I don't know what kettle you're trying to call black here.
but I tend to make bad decisions that hurt myself.
And everyone who loves you.
Agreed. But I'm not making those decisions to hurt the ones I love.
Neither am I. I'm not sure. What do you mean, meh? I have never made the decision to actively cause harm to somebody.
Hey, Sarah, can I have one of those
Pastries?
sweets? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm already munching down as I had here.
I'll walk away.
You guys just sitting there with
Yeah.
popcorn.
Because right now it's just going around in circles. It's like,
No,
yeah,
I'm not
this is-
watching. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm getting stressed.
All right, let's come up with
Yes.
because then we're just gonna go around in circles, and that's fun for some people. Some questions we need to figure out. How many circle breakers are going to go and like do this thing? Because they're
All of them. There's a total of 12.
got it. 12. Yeah, because Siri's actually right. He's
Man.
like, we got to come up with a plan here.
That includes men, women, and children.
That's valid.
I think one of their names is Chad.
Okay.
12. Wait, did you mean over the age of 10?
Cut the number in half.
Because over 12 we got like 3. Okay. We need to find out how we're getting it to the port. That's pretty important too.
I didn't assume we were the ones getting it to the port.
I thought that they
Look,
were.
I feel like the circle breakers are great. Their cause is fantastic. They maybe you're not the most organized.
No. I don't mean them getting it to the port. I mean if Hethra's getting the weapons.
Oh, I thought that
I thought
she was
she was
basically
gonna
like leaving at
assemble
the
them
gates of the city, like
at the port.
good luck.
Yeah, that's what you said, right? Hethra gets them to the port.
Okay.
So, there's basically Hethra. She gives them to you here, or roughly here.
In the city.
yeah, in the city.
Or thereabouts, wherever your assigned location is for that exchange. Then you take it.
To the port.
Yeah, your
Horses
whole job
and
is
carriages. and-
from Hethra to Rebels. Like that's the transportation.
She handles inventory only. That is her role in this.
And arranges things, which she had done with the Divine Wind until she said,
so-
we'll replace them.
Yeah.
So
So we don't know
She said,
where.
"Okay." now she doesn't have to deal with it.
Yep.
So we don't know where they're going to.
I don't like this minigame.
Side quest.
We don't know where they're going to trade the weapons off to us.
I'm sorry for what I
It's
did.
not for me. Sanoa's literally eating like muffins
Just
by herself.
stress eating in the corner.
Yes.
So we don't know where they're going to hand us off, or where we're picking up the weapons from.
Well,
No,
we
you
can-
would know
yeah,
some of those details as they come.
Yeah, we know the
Okay.
I'm
coordinator.
just clarifying the.
Well, that's what we're trying to iron out. So do we know if we're picking them up in the city or at the
Yes,
You would know the location you're getting the exchange from. Yes.
Which
And
is
that
the
will
city.
be in the city.
correct.
Yeah.
They don't drop it off at the port.
I'm saying on an ongoing basis, it's in the city
That's
or
what
there,
it was
or
just
maybe
like
outside the city
a little bit.
sometimes
Okay.
or whatever. It just
Like
changes. It
at a-
changes every time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
so then,
regularly.
yes, Sarek, we need to figure out how to get those from the city to the port.
And how we get them from the port to
To
the
Lyrandale.
port, essentially.
Did Jessar say that he would be at the location? Himself?
Or no, one of his people.
How do we get them into Lyrandale? Okay. So we've got a little bit of a list here. We know 12 circle breakers. That's great. So we get them to port. I think we're going to have to help them to get them to port.
We are, and we're gonna have to help book a ship. and
That's
we're
why
gonna-
I was coordinating a
And I mean,
caravan
like-
earlier today.
Yeah, that's like
Or-
we're actually going to physically have to go with them. To
Yeah,
get
that's
to
why I was
port.
coordinating like a physical thing that we
caravan
can ride.
to the port.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we had to find a way to get them from the port here in Hawaraka to the port in Lyrandale.
Correct.
That, I think, we have the Hurricane Sisters. They sure we're on the best terms, but we did get
They
them
hate
their ship
our
back.
guts.
Okay, but you're assuming they're at this port and that they're not 2 weeks
That's
away.
we have to
from Lyrandale.
contact them.
That's why I said we
unfortunately.
need to contact.
Yeah. And then we have to find a way to get them into Lyrandale, and then we have to find a way to get them to the rebellion, because I don't know what we're carrying yet. I don't know the size of what we're carrying.
Well, that is why we need to talk to him about once we get to port
That's-
about coordinating everything. But we do also know the guys that helped us get into this.
And I'm fine with that. Like I said, I have no problem reaching out to Andreas. We just need to figure out what it is we're doing.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're getting a plan. We are going to get the weapons to the port. We need assistance getting them from the port to Lyrandale. Correct?
We need
Yes.
a boat to get us there. Ideally, a boat that is good at smuggling, or a boat with the skills to kind of smartly
They
navigate
have
the
the
waters.
fake paperwork.
Yes.
Got you. Okay, I can have that conversation. We just need to
Basically,
get to the port.
if he does already have contacts in the port here, that makes our job a lot easier.
Doubt it, but I will ask.
But it doesn't hurt to ask. And then also, once we make it to port there, which port do we want to land at? And kind of, does he already have people for pickup, or do we need to coordinate pickup?
My thoughts were worst case. We could schedule half of it because we wouldn't even need a smuggler to get the goods to the pedals. And so if
Why
the
the fuck would we want to
hurricane,
go to the pedals?
because it's a halfway point, it's outside. So if the Hurricane Sisters aren't here and we can't find a smuggler, we could book regular passage to get our cargo to the pedals. Halfway, if she can, or if Andreas can figure out a way to get it from the pedals into Lyrandale.
It's a very risky one as well, but it's an option.
It's all risk right now. Is all.
You know, I'm
Bad
just,
idea.
I'm
no,
just
I'm just saying it's a risk regardless.
because
but it
I
is
don't
an
want to
option on
sit
the
at the
table.
port for 2 weeks waiting
No,
for
we
the
wouldn't.
Hurricane Sisters to get there.
Maybe we
if
can
they're
find out.
not at that port.
Yeah, we can find out roughly how far away
Yes,
they are.
I'm
Yeah.
just trying to plan out in case it's not an instant sure. Like,
Tell me when to send a message.
I've got this one. I've got this one.
Or you're gonna send Adris something.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
have a conversation with
You
Adris.
help her get in contact with the Hurricane Sisters as an option.
All right. So we get the port.
Do you want to wait until I talk to
Yep.
Andreas first?
Mhm.
Okay. I think I have the gist of it, so I'm gonna bust open my book,
Okay.
shake it off a little bit, and then I'm gonna begin to write.
Dump all the sand out.
Yes, and go. It's stoic. We have reestablished trade with our contacts here in help me, Taratha. Slight hiccup. We are having to manage the logistics of getting it back to Lyrandale. And I will write many messages if I have to. Just, We are very good negotiators and fine warriors, but logistics is not in our strong suit. Do you know if the Hurricane Sisters are still in the area? If not, do you have any other contacts that may assist us with getting... What port are we in?
Gareth?
With the-
Is that what it's called?
Well, you're in Tirotha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Garash.
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 Garash is the port on our side, because we need a ship.
That's what I'm wondering. Okay.
Yeah, we need a ship from our side.
Are you able to assist with getting the weapons from Gareth to Lyrandel? We have already worked out a caravan to get them there, but need assistance from that point if you're able. And then I stop.
All of the logistics and smuggling were, well, first of all, that's excellent news. But all of the logistics, everything until it was handed off to us, was handled by Hathra. So no, I don't know that, and I don't know the whereabouts of any given ship at, any given time. They do tend to travel a lot. I'm very, very pleased to hear of your success. That's excellent news, excellent work. But no, I'm sorry, I don't have that sort of resources outside of Lyrandil, and very limited within.
Okay. I wait until I feel there's enough time passed that I don't think they're going to message anymore. Understood. And I am sorry for the inconvenience, but as part of the deal, the logistics must be taken care of by us moving forward. We have made contacts here with a group called the Chain Breakers, who are willing Circle Breakers, who are willing to assist, but they're not well versed in logistics either. They're just manpower. We feel confident that we would at least be able to get the goods to the pedals, if not more. And that will take a bit of time. In that time, God, does anybody remember his name? The guy that put us in the barrels?
And the pedals?
No. In Lyrandil.
Oh, and the barrels.
The gatekeeper of Lyrandil, basically.
He literally just said it starts with a D.
We can't say his name. We can't say his name.
Oh, fuck. They don't get along, do they?
We can't say his name. Damn. Just ask us if he has anybody in port when we would land in Lyrandil. Does he already have a way to unload the ship?
Yeah, but we got to get into Lyrandil with the proper paperwork. If you have anybody or can work towards finding someone to help smuggle those through the border of Lyrandil, it would be greatly appreciated. It's a little hard to work on outside of Lyrandil.
I'll ask around again, but as far as I know, most of those operations have been consolidated under one man. He's just a bit unpredictable, and he's wanted to do business with us, but I've refused. We are not of the same sort of law breaking.
Understood, but that's going to make landfall with your weapons very difficult without a point of contact to help us get through the port. So unless you think that the rebels would be able to covertly take over a port that we could land at, or find us a safe location to secretly pull into in the night, it will make things very difficult.
Listen, if you want to arrange something with Draetherian Faldo, then the relationship is yours, not with the rebellion.
Do you want to take over a city for us?
Oh yeah, no big deal. Just
Let's take over a port. Come on.
major military action.
Yeah, fine.
You know.
Very fine, rebellion. Come on, it's just like hop, skip, and jump over.
Go find a little fishing village and like
Yeah, nobody will notice.
put them all to sleep. It's fine. Damn it. All right. We will see what we can do and be in contact soon. And I relay all of that to you guys because I've been reading my part
You just-
and
In parting, you just see him say, "I know you'll get it done." And with that, I think that's where we'll end tonight. And then I'll also give you guys the week to like talk, you know,
And actually try to figure this
out
out.
some plans. and
I'm
stuff.
sorry.
But-
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that this is how I was
that
playing.
your decisions had consequences. What?
Listen, I knew they had consequences in game, but I didn't know they had consequences for us as people. To
Yes.
have to like actually think through things.
Yes.
I like to play wild,
I
reckless,
know, you-
and roll my dice and see what happens.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just one of those unavoidable things where it's like all these things actually really matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen.
I didn't know how to
Doug,
fast forward it, you know.
I did not think any of this through.
Well,
Now we have a chance to.
But
you can ask Sarek what Hedressa had to say to him about details.
Yep.
I look forward to it.
we're gonna get there, but we had to iron
I
this shit
know.
out.
I know. This kind of sidetracked everything.
Woo! Just, I was hoping for some magic hand waving.
Look,
Yeah.
you're obviously not a SimCity player.
I know. I can tell you that I'm not a player of any video game.
Like for those of us that are like radio or like roller coaster tycoon, like you want me to manage stuff? This is so fun.
That
like,
is not my.
Sick.
Absolutely
See,
not.
I'm like, oh yeah, no, I'm down. This is my kind of game.
But I'm actually kind of like, there's a part of my brain's like, just okay, I'm
Yeah.
I'm into
Ew.
We're like, all right,
You know what?
let's figure this out.
You know what? I caused this mess. Thank you for cleaning it up.
Larry has barely taken notes at all this year, and like he's like, wait,
we have questions. What's his name again? Yeah.
Eric's phone is calling.
Well, he did just get kind of not necessarily, but he was called out on like, no, details matter. Okay, details matter. Let's figure it out.
This is the beginning of Sarek's arms dealer era.
I'm here for it.
You know,
I'm here
after
for
this, I got a career on it.
and then like the worst part is like this is you, this is your character. You're like, I want to build a network and have all this like stuff, and we're like, okay. This is what it actually
This
looks
is
like.
it.
You're like in D&D, you're like, I want to build a network, and you're like, I built a network. This is awesome. I love D&D.
Yeah. I see nothing wrong with that being how I play this game.
You're like, wait, I actually have to draw out all the details and connections to this? No, that's not how D&D works.
Listen.
Stop being mean to Tara.
It's only
Oh, no,
I'm,
I'm
it's
okay.
all-
Also love you.
I'm here to have a good time.
That's right.
And having a
Not-
time means destroy.
Not do
And that
civil
means-
planning.
Larry can have fun.
Yeah.
I'll eat muffins.
I didn't get into county planning for a reason.
I know, me and Larry are like, well, let's write our budget report. And like,
Let's figure this out. How much gold is going to be allocated to get it?
we'll be like, let's check each other's math. This is wonderful. Like, I hope all the viewers are enjoying. Like,
Not 1% off.
Corporate D&D. You know?
we saved you gold. It only took us an hour of gameplay.
Third quarter earnings.
Oh, I know.
We're in the black. We're in the black.
All right.
We
Good
fine.
stuff. Oh man, yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you actually committed to this huge thing,
Yeah.
and the people you committed to it for are just like, what do we do? So I was literally sitting there thinking, like, how can I fast forward this? I can't. There's, you know.
You could. You're the DM.
I mean, yes, I could if
If
well,
we
well,
had-
yeah. If you just want it to fall apart, you
Yeah.
know, as of the trajectory of when you left it.
I mean, how would that be any different than anything else we've done so far in this campaign?
We're like trying to get better than that, okay? What?
Okay. Well, awesome. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and
Good job, guys.
we will be back next week, and hopefully I can.
Self-starters.
And we're taking open applications for smugglers.
Right. If anybody knows how to smuggle into a country, a very
It's
highly
like,
controlled country.
Yeah.
So, yes, we will be back next week to continue this on as the group prepares to head out of Tirotha finally and head back into Lyrandil eventually. So, with a new smuggling side quest. So, we will
Yep.
see how this goes. We'll be back next Sunday.
Yep.
So, bye.
Right.